It's the Mixed Martial Arts Hour with
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
We've reached our cruising altitude of 10,700 feet. Go ahead and sit back, relax, enjoy the flight to Dallas, Texas, home of the biggest bout of the summer, Jake Paul, Nate Diaz.
The Mixed Martial Arts Hour is back in your life on this Friday, August 4th, 2023. Hello again, everyone. I sure hope you're doing well. And yes, this is our third episode of the week. This is our second on the road episode of the week. The second from Dallas. On Wednesday, we came to you from the open workouts. Tonight we come to you in prime time, Friday night prime time, Helwani. Wow, we come to you live and indirect from the American Airlines Center in the heart of Dallas, Texas. Moments ago, it just wrapped up, and as you can see, they are breaking the stage behind us down. They are breaking it down because moments ago we had the final face-off between Jake Paul and Nathan Diaz. We had the final face-offs between Amanda Serrano and Heather Hardy. The entire card was up there for these ceremonial weigh-ins. It was a tremendous scene. I was very excited to be up there for DAZN. And look at them, breaking it all down in front of you. How cool is this? We've never done a post-ceremonial weigh-in show. I could get used to this sort of thing. I mean, it is literally coming down behind you. And as the night goes on, the great crew here in Dallas at the American Airlines Center will be putting together the ring, the lighting grid, the whole shebang for Saturday night's pay-per-view, which of course you could get on DAZN pay-per-view globally, also on ESPN Plus pay-per-view here in the United States. DAZN.com is where you can get it here in the United States. You can get it via your local cable and satellite providers. You know the drill by now. Of course, as always, this program brought to you by our good friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. They are the official sports betting partner of not only this program, but the UFC as well. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. Use the code MMA Hour when you sign up. Again, this code MMA Hour only at DraftKings Sportsbook. I do want to give a shout out to our good friends over at DAZN. One more time, they are bringing this program to all of you worldwide on this Friday night. We've never done a Friday night show like this before. If you want to check out the fight of the summer, as the pilot said in that tremendous intro, which I do believe was concocted by our very own GC, which now stands for Georgia Cowboy, because the man has been rocking a cowboy hat, a belt buckle, may have even purchased some boots at this point. In any event, DAZN.com is where you can get the pay-per-view. Jake Paul, Nathan Diaz, 6-fight main card. Of course, you can get so much on DAZN, 50 fights a year. You could get Women's Champions League here in the United States as well. You get the darts, you get the pool, all that stuff and more. Jake Paul and Nathan Diaz tomorrow night. I'll be a part of the broadcast team. I can't wait for it, so thank you very much to DAZN. Now, like I said, weigh-ins just wrapped up. What happened? Let's take a look. It was a great scene. I got to tell you, Nathan Diaz looks great for 185. I think a lot of people thought he wouldn't look his best. He's never fought at 185 before. I thought he looked good. He looked healthy. He looked cut. He looked muscular. Very impressive. And, of course, Jake Paul has been looking good all week. We saw him without the shirt at the open workouts. Do we have the pictures? Do we have the scenes? There it is. Here's the final face-off between the two of them. Going back and forth, a little elbowing there. How about Chael P? Chael P said, I can't let you get close. I can't let you get close. This is tremendous. Look at this. Back and forth they went. A little camera change, Nikisa in the middle of it all. Chael P with the surprise appearance. Part of Team Diaz. Rich Chow also part of Team RFI. No real shenanigans. Some talking, some jawing, some posing. The crowd was hype. The crowd was very, very hype. And I got to say, it felt like 80-20 in favor of Nathan Diaz. It really did. This is Diaz country, my friends. And look at you. Look at that smile on the American gangster's face. Tremendous stuff there from both Nathan Diaz and Jake Paul. The final push, if you will, for the pay-per-view. And now it all goes down on Saturday. We also had Amanda Serrano and Heather Hardy weigh in. All good there. The undisputed 126-pound title on the line. Here's Amanda Serrano, the pride of Carolina, Puerto Rico, 7-division champion, going up against her former foe, fellow New Yorker. They were jawing back and forth as well. Look at that intensity from Amanda Serrano, the real deal. Undisputed queen at 126. She beat Heather Hardy back in 2019 to win her first featherweight titles, and now they're going to do it again. Heather told us on Wednesday this is the final chapter of her career, but not the final page. Amanda Serrano showing love to the legend Heather Hardy, but man, oh man, one of the best fighters on the planet. And of course, Jeremy Stephens, former UFC fighter, former PFL fighter, went up against Chris Avila. Chris Avila missing weight earlier this morning. Had to give some money to Jeremy Stephens. Stephens not messing around. He has found a nice home for himself in the sweet science. There's Rich Chow, former Strikeforce matchmaker, Bellator matchmaker. Chris Avila coming in about 2 pounds over at 170. It's a 168-pound fight, 6 rounds. Look at Jeremy Stephens mocking Chris Avila. So like I said, a great scene. We're going to be joined by multiple luminaries on today's program. Back end of the show, GC, New York Rick will join me to take us home. We're also going to be joined by, one of the biggest baby faces in the business today, Wade Plem, my good friend and yours. He knows this scene very well. He's an absolute superstar stud on the internet. Everyone loves him. He can't walk 10 feet without getting mobbed over here in Dallas, Texas. But first things first, and perhaps some others will stop by too. Let us say hello to our first guest of the day. I saw him in Las Vegas last week. We were there, of course, for Spence Crawford, and maybe Crawford Spence. He's one of the greatest to step foot in the ring. Come on in, my friend. Here he is, Showtime Shawn Porter in the house. Golly, look at this guy. You know, the work that I had to do to get Shawn Porter on this program, golly. Toughest guy. What's that? You got to turn on. Okay, you got to turn on the mic. Here it is. Shawn, you're trying to sabotage my show.
No. You're sabotaging your show. Where's my earpieces?
Oh, you don't need an earpiece. Why do you need an earpiece?
I didn't know it wasn't on.
You're that's true. You're such a pro. You're such an absolute pro. Thank you for doing this, my man. I really appreciate it. It's great to have Showtime Shawn Porter here with us. Can I ask, what is it like for you to go from a Spence Crawford-like fight to a Jake Paul, Nathan Diaz-like fight in the span of a week?
Tell you what, if the energy, which it should be just about the same, it's kind of like being at the same event. Obviously, when you look at the level of the experience and the fight and things like that, no, it doesn't compare. But in terms of being in a T-Mobile arena, thousands of fans around the stadium screaming, Crawford screaming Spence, and then to come here and you hear the exact same things for Paul and Diaz as well, I think the atmosphere is going to be a lot the same.
When you first heard about Jake Paul, this kid coming over from from the Disney show and YouTube and all that stuff, and trying his hand in boxing, were you interested in this, or did he have to win you over time?
I think for everyone, it's been an adjustment, even for his family. It's been an adjustment. This is what you were doing, and this is what you're going to do. And these are all of the intangibles that come with being a fighter, and I think that for a lot of the world, it's what are you doing, For me, it was just like I'm like really oblivious to social media because I don't do social media often. So I was oblivious. I'm like, okay, this is cool. And it was like, okay, this is cool. And then once people started to really make a fuss about it, I'm like, this is good for boxing. This is a no-brainer. How do you guys not get this? This guy's bringing millions of people to a sport that struggles to sell. Use it. Benefit from it. Adore it. Bring it.
Right.
And use it to your benefit. You know what I mean? So I've been one of the few, I think, out there from the boxing world that have said, practically from, I wouldn't say day one because I didn't understand it on day one, but definitely, by his third or fourth fight, I was saying, this is good for the sport. Let's continue to push this forward.
I know I'm just asking you on behalf of the boxing community, but do you feel as though he gets more respect now because he has stuck with it? And I think some people thought he might quit after his last loss, right?
I think he's practically always gotten respect from me because I understand people. And I understand that he is a competitor, that he loves athletics, and he's from Cleveland. You know what I mean? So I get him. And so for me, it was just like turn it on, watch it, see what happens, and then turn it off and go about your way. This is what we do with sports. We're not the ones that hurt the next day. I get that he's still going to hurt. If Nate doesn't hit him one time, he's still going to hurt from the work that he's put in to get here, you know? So I think overall the boxing world started to kind of give respect after that fight with Tommy Fury. I think that people saw in the lead up to that fight how much work he was truly putting in and how dedicated he is to the sport. I think that that's what really started to resonate with people.
Why did he lose that fight?
Why did he use that fight?
Why did he lose that fight? What didn't he do right?
I honestly put the decision of that fight in the hands of the commission out there. You know, I think that.
Do you think he won?
I did. I
really?
thought he won the fight.
Wow,
yeah.
You were there.
I thought he won the
fight. You were
ringside,
right?
The fight. I'm ringside. I thought he won the fight. And I just thought that overall, there has to you have to know what's in the ring on fight night, you know, and if you understand that you got a fighter who has truly never fought at this level before, and then Tommy Fury, you got another fighter who is at practically the same level, you're gonna be ready for the roughhousing, be ready for the wrestling and all those other antics. You just break it up and you let him fight. You break it up and you let him fight. And I just thought that the referee played a pivotal role. I think he took points from Paul, then he took points from Tommy, and it's just, to me, it was a mess. But from what I could remember, I thought that Paul really handled things very well along the way, and I thought that he won the fight.
Did you think that he was going to retire after that?
No, I didn't.
No, okay.
No, I didn't. I thought that he expected to have his hand raised, and once it wasn't raised, he's really quickly thinking, okay, I just effed up.
Yeah.
And how do I fix this? You know, and you don't fix it by retiring and moving on. You fix it by doing what he's doing now, getting in the ring with Nate Diaz.
And him coming back after a loss, to me, should end all the is he a fighter or not? Because I think a lot of people thought, all right, it won't?
No, it won't.
Okay.
It won't.
It will never end.
It won't. You know, you just, I don't know, maybe people haven't been fed the right way.
Right.
And the way you feed the boxing world, you say this kid is never going to be a world champion boxer at the elite level, but he's going to put on great performances. He's going to put on great events, and you guys need to still watch this, you know, and stop trying to say whether or not he's a fighter.
Right.
He's a fighter because he trains. He's a fighter because he has camp. He's a fighter because he has a boxing license. Hey, he's a fighter.
Yes. You step in the ring, you're a fighter. But why is it, in your opinion, like, I feel like the vast majority of the people here are MMA fans. I feel like more MMA media covers these fights than boxing media. I don't see a lot of the same people that were at the fight last weekend. Yeah. Why do you think he doesn't get that type of attention and it's almost treated more like an MMA event? I know he's fighting MMA fighters, but it doesn't feel like the boxing media covers him.
Well, I think there's more boxing media here than probably ever before.
Oh, really? Okay.
And again, could be because he fought Tommy and there's this respect there now, whatever the case may be. But I think it is just that. You can't come into the boxing world and then not fight boxers and consider yourself a boxer. And I think that is the other side that's really separating him from being considered a true boxer and just someone who gets in the boxing ring.
See, I think that's crazy. You know why? Because at 5-0, at 6-0, he's fighting tougher guys than most people fight at 5-0. The greatest of all time, right?
I don't agree.
What are you talking about? Tyron Woodley's a UFC champion. Anderson Silva, he's still tough.
Simply because, you're still tough, but where's your level of toughness now?
These are cage fighters.
Yeah, but
arguably tougher.
But these are cage fighters who are no longer hungry. These are cage fighters who have gone through their best years, and they have the ability to get back in the ring or in the octagon, and that's why they're doing it. These aren't guys who are hungry, sleeping on couches, and
hungrier than a guy who's 1-12, a guy that you're fighting at a club show, 1-12.
There's, come on now. I don't. But there's a lot of 1-12 guys who are not hungry.
Right.
There's a lot of 1-12 guys who are hungry. But what I'm saying is that there's some 1-12 guys that are more hungry than Nate Diaz, who has done it all. Once you've done it all, your level of hunger just simply changes. Psychologically, it is what it is. You can't control it.
So that's really interesting because I think all the pressure is on Diaz's shoulders tomorrow. And that's why I think he's super hungry. You know why? He can't go back to Stockton with an L on his record in his pro debut against Jake Paul, the Disney kid.
Hey, listen,
right?
All respect to this event, but what did he say on the stage? He said, no matter how this fight goes. Right. And that's all I need to say.
Did you not like that?
I did not like that.
Would you think he was like planting a...
I think it could have been planting. It could have been him showing his true confidence. But I think more than anything, it just kind of speaks to him, his inexperience in terms of promoting a fight. You know, promote a fight saying, hey, no matter what happens, this guy still sucks. No, if he kicked your ass, he kicked your ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So a lot of the boxing luminary. I've talked to a bunch of them at this point. Eddie Hearn was probably the most vocal, where he was like, "Man, I saw that guy on the mitts. I saw Diaz on the mitts, not looking good." He thinks that Jake is gonna wipe the floor with him.
Well, guess what? And I've been in the ring with these kind of guys all my life.
Yeah.
The ones who are inexperienced are the ones that can give you a lot of trouble. And when you take a look at Jake Paul going up against some of the best from the MMA world, these guys are good at what they do. But now they're getting in the boxing ring, they're told to keep their hands up, fight conventionally, and there's no kicking, there's no grappling, anything like that. And on top of that, I don't know what this guy's got. You know what I mean? So that has worked to his benefit. And this one right here could actually backfire on him.
And you're talking about Nate, right?
Yeah, well, I'm saying that it's worked to Jake's inexperience,
Right.
worked to his benefit, because he's getting in the ring with people who are looking at him like, okay, do you even know what you're doing? Boom, and I get hit with the right hand, But in this fight right here, Nate Diaz now is the guy who can be sloppy, can make this an ugly fight, and
He will
that
talk
ugly
shit.
sloppiness.
He will get in his face.
Yeah.
He will frustrate him. He will throw a lot. Tyron Woodley didn't throw a lot. Anderson didn't throw a lot. Even Tommy didn't throw a lot.
Yeah.
I think Nate is going to throw everything at him.
That's the separation right there, yeah.
So I don't think that this is going to be a one-sided fight. I think a lot of people who are saying that don't know who he is, have never seen him before.
I would say that this is the most I've truly looked at this fight beyond Jake Paul knocking out Nate Diaz. This is the most I've looked at it. And I'm over here like, wow, this could actually be a little more competitive than I thought.
Yes. One other thing. Originally it was an 8-round fight. Then they extended it to 10. That favors Diaz.
It doesn't.
It does.
It doesn't.
Why?
And I heard these guys arguing earlier, and I was like, I'm not even going to get into this. To fight in the octagon, 5-minute round,
Yeah.
your body, you only use certain energy levels. And that's a whole nother conversation. But just to give you a little bit from a scientific standpoint, in boxing, we mostly use the ATP system. That's fast, explode. In the octagon, they're using the anaerobic system, which is it's a system that is ready for the long haul. So when you got to get a ring and you're ready for the long haul, and all of a sudden you're told to go, your energy system speed up. And if you haven't worked that ATP, you're not going to be ready for a 3-minute round. That's why we've seen these MMA guys fall to Jake Paul, because they're not used to that 3-minute.
This is a guy who does. That's a great answer, and I understand where you're coming from, and it's great insight. This is a guy who does
much.
No, this is a guy who does triathlons for fun on a Sunday morning.
That.
Yes,
Is that real?
That is real.
Is that real?
Yes, him and his brother. They like to do triathlons.
Even
for
now,
fun.
even now.
Yes.
When was his last triathlon?
I mean, I didn't ask him, but
I'm sorry.
this is known. This is part of their.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
This is their thing. Does that change your perspective? That's
No.
why. Come on. That's why I say
allow
the
it
10
to.
rounds
Yeah.
is in his favor. I think the size going into this week, I thought was in Jake's favor. He has never fought. Nathan has never fought at 185. Highest he went is 170.
Yeah.
But now I look at them up there. They're kind of the same size, right?
They're the same size. The obviously the makeup is much different.
Sure.
You can see who's been working or whatever the case may be. But I think overall, when you talk about a Nate Diaz who has never fought at 185, now you're talking about you're probably at your walking around weight.
Right.
And performing at walking around weight, any fighter can tell you is not where we want to perform. We want to perform again where we've had to be hungry, where we've had to go to sleep without eating, and we've had to really watch our nutrition and also work as well, So I don't know, man. I think that it's going to be a fun fight to watch. I truly don't think it's going to go long,
Really?
but talking to you has really...
Am I changing?
I'll probably be seeing some different things on the DAZN platform.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. By the way, I had Andre Ward on my show. Andre Ward has been trained. He has trained, not anymore, obviously. He has trained with the Diaz brothers in the past, and Nate in particular. And he said that Nate was one of his toughest looks as a southpaw that he ever had in sparring. That's the SOG right there.
He's a southpaw.
Yes,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yes.
And he's a southpaw.
So does that? Yeah, and he's a southpaw.
Wait.
Are we starting to change your mind here?
No,
Listen, we have no dog in the
within
race.
sparring.
Well, yeah, listen, it was a few years ago.
This is what we know about boxing. You get old overnight.
Yeah, but he's a debutante. First time.
Oh, who?
A debutante.
What the hell is a debut?
He's a rookie.
Yeah.
He's a rook. This is pro debut.
Débutante?
A débutant. It's a Francais word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
You've never heard of that word?
No.
Like debut?
Yeah. So
Is a-
that's the full word.
That's the
and
first.
It's a French word.
Yeah, it's a French
Never
word.
knew that.
I'm from Canada.
Yeah.
So I speak French.
Yeah.
Pas français.
Yeah.
You know that?
See.
Yeah. There was supposed to be a big fight in Quebec City. What a stretch in boxing. Huh? We were supposed to have Better Biev fighting Smith, but he got, I don't know, something wrong with his teeth. You heard about this?
No, I did not.
Yeah, he's the man.
Wow. So that fight was about to happen too, huh?
August 19th.
Wow.
Yeah, man, we're on a crate. Next week on DAZN, Dillian White against AJ.
Yeah.
And we got Canelo coming up September 30th. This has been one of the best years for boxing in quite some time. Would you agree?
I would agree. I think that boxing, I think that this is a true wave. I don't think this is a 2023, we got all we want.
One-off.
It's just going to continue on, man. This is the new wave for boxing.
What changed?
I think the timing.
What do you mean?
Timing has become perfect for boxing, where a lot of guys are reaching this level at the same time. Whereas before you had guys, so I call them quads. Every Olympic year, every 4 years, you have a quad. You get a plethora of fighters who are going to become champions. It's going to take them upwards to 6 to 8 years to get into that title contention world. And I think that now we've come into a wave that's going to continue, where guys are around the same age, are doing the same things around the same time, and this wave is going to continue.
You know who's to thank for this wave that you're speaking of?
I think me.
Okay. I was going to say Jake Paul.
Oh,
Jake Paul made it happen.
Say Showtime.
No, and listen, you're a part of it as well. But, you know, Jake, he says he's infused some life into boxing.
Yeah.
You know, do you agree or disagree?
I disagree.
Okay.
Respectfully, I know he's paying my bill. You know, he's
Well, DAZN is.
meeting my quota. But no, I do think that this is not his doing. I think that this is this is where the timing of boxing has gotten us. You know.
You know who may deserve a thank you? Tell me if you think otherwise, and I don't know how much you pay attention, but the sport of mixed martial arts. The way the sport is structured, we're getting the big fights, and there's no dancing around, and there's no networks, and it's usually, you know, the UFC is the top league, and everyone fights everyone, for the most part.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible that boxing looked and said, hey, look at how well they're doing? No. Okay.
Take a look at, let's be honest, take a look at boxing. Has boxing changed in the last 20 years?
But now we're seeing, like, more co-promotions, undisputed championship fights.
Because the fighters are the ones to thank.
They're making it happen.
Fighters are the ones to thank.
Good.
Take a look at Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Errol was told, move on. We don't need this fight. You don't need this fight. Move on. And he said, no, this is the one I want. You know, he forced that fight. When I fought Terrence Crawford, everyone's telling me to move on. I'm like, ain't nobody else I want to fight. You know, you take a look at Ryan Garcia. He really forced the hand of Golden Boy to make that fight happen. You know, and I think that wave is going to continue. These fighters are realizing, if I say something, I can actually get what I want. If I say I'm not going to do anything else, and that's what's happening. The fighters are the ones to thank.
Who does Terrence fight next?
I don't know. You know, he was chirping at Jamel Charlo during the fight.
Yes, that was amazing.
Sexy.
Yeah.
That was
sexy?
I mean, everything about Terrence Crawford was sexy that week.
Were you blown away?
Absolutely.
Were you expecting that?
I really wouldn't say I was expecting that. Surprised, not surprised, but certainly not expecting it. But I know Terrence in and out of the ring, so there's no surprise at all. If
you were advising Errol Spence, would you go after the rematch now, or is that a mistake?
Depends. You know, if I'm advising Spence and I'm in his camp and I know everything that's going on, number one thing I need to know is, how healthy is he? How healthy is he going to be? Is his life in jeopardy? And be honest. And I'd get multiple medical opinions, not just one doctor that he's been seeing his whole life. I get multiple, because I think in this instance it's gonna take multiple in order for them to make a determination. After that, I would definitely entertain a rematch, because, like I like to say, a lot of fighters that don't figure out all of those answers on fight night, you get a chance to go back to the gym. You get 8 weeks to figure out all those questions. You come back to the ring different. And you could do something different in the rematch.
How much do you attribute his performance to the car accident and the retina surgery?
Know, man, I'm hearing now that, you know, there is residue from that accident. No surprise. I mean, that's what we expect, you know. But after he had 2 fights, 2 successful wins, one really gritty, hard win that he had to really pull out some things and do it. he got that win against Ugas.
Right.
That kind of convinced me that he was ready. So, I don't know.
Okay, 2 last ones for you. Who wins? The 2023 version of Terrence Crawford, or let's say the 12 version of Floyd Mayweather? And don't sit on the fence, Shawn Porter. Don't sit on the fence. What do you mean you don't know? You know. You know.
Don't whisper to me.
That makes it
You've been
more.
Whispering this whole show.
That makes That's my.
You know.
Yeah, come on. I'm not a loud guy.
I don't know. I think you got to go back further than 2012.
Okay, fine. What do you want to say? 2009?
I don't know. When do you even say Floyd is in his prime?
Yeah, I don't know.
When do you say Floyd was in his prime?
When he fought, is De La Hoya just a little bit before the prime? Is Canelo the prime?
He still was in his prime.
Right.
But he was really like genuinely in his prime back in the day when he fought guys like Castillo and guys like that. He really was in his prime even back then. You know.
So you're gonna sit on the fence, huh?
I don't know, man.
All right.
That is a 50-50 fight.
Tell us what your podcast is. What is it called?
The Porter Way Podcast.
It's good stuff.
We
I
talk.
was listening to a lot of it leading up to the Spence Crawford fight.
It's boxing from a professional fighter's perspective, and of course that entertaining, fun twist. I love to have fun, and my co-host he loves to have fun, and then. Anyone we bring in, man, the number one thing. And when I bring on guests, I tell them, yo, this is loose conversation. We're just here to have fun. Don't tighten up and expect Q&A.
Yeah.
We're going to be all over the place, but at the end of the day, we're going to get somewhere.
I love it. It's an honor to work with you. I look forward to it tomorrow night. This man, Shawn Porter, is going to be a part of the broadcast on DAZN alongside many luminaries, and we'll be talking to a couple of them throughout today's program, but he does a tremendous job. He knows his stuff, and I think I may have gotten him to change his pick. I think he's going with Diaz now. I feel like I convinced him.
No.
Okay.
I'm still wondering who the hell convinced you that whispering was okay.
Oh, yeah, this is the way I speak.
No, that's messed up.
You don't like that? Well, you want me to talk like this? Oh, we're here in an empty arena.
Your email whispered into mine.
Yeah, and that's why
I didn't get it.
And that's why he did not respond. Shawn Porter, you're the man. Thank you so much.
Man.
Much love to you. You could just walk off. What are you guys saying in my ear over there? What was that? Yeah, which one? Thank you so much, Shawn. All the best to you. I'll see you tomorrow. We're talking about DAZN. All right, this episode, guys, a reminder, is sponsored by DAZN. On August 5th, international superstar Jake the Problem Child Paul and combat sports icon Nathan Diaz will finally settle their growing feud. Was I whispering too much, Frank? What's going on over here?
I didn't think so.
Over 10 rounds at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, live worldwide at DAZN.com. Paul will be out for revenge, of course, after his loss to Tommy Fury. Diaz, the legend himself, the pride of Stockton, making his pro boxing debut. What a scene it is going to be. And, of course, you can watch it on DAZN via DAZN pay-per-view and via DAZN.com this Saturday, August 5th. You can get Women's Champions League soccer, pool, darts, and much more with monthly prices starting at $19.99. Again, watch Jake Paul versus Nathan Diaz Saturday, August 5th, live exclusively on DAZN pay-per-view. Sign up at DAZN.com. All right, let's go to our next guest. I want to go to Alycia Baumgardner because she has been waiting for us, and she has been very patient in doing so. She is an absolute legend, one of my favorite fighters to watch. What a great honor this is going to be. A force, a tour de force, the pride of Michigan, killing it right now in the sweet science. Hello, my friend, Alycia Baumgardner. Thank you so much for joining us. This is so lovely. How are you?
Feeling very undisputed. How are you?
Yes, you are the undisputed. Did I not say that?
You did.
Okay. You are the undisputed queen.
Yes.
I thought you actually ditched us. That's what they told us. Did you ditch us and come back? Because you're wearing like running shoes now. So now I'm like.
Some heels
They do, yes.
hurting, so I'm here now.
Thank you for being here. Actually, I saw you for the first time. I met you for the first time in Dublin. We were there for the Katie Taylor-Chantel Cameron fight. That was incredible. And now we're here, obviously, for the Amanda Serrano fight. And you know, obviously, Jake Paul, Nathan Diaz. But I feel like you have your eye on that Serrano fight. I was talking to some of the guys on Wednesday about my dream fight for Amanda Serrano. I will admit, I'm a big Katie Taylor fan. I enjoy watching her a lot. I think she's a legend. She did a lot for women's boxing and continues to do a lot. And I said to everyone, okay, we're going to say on the count of three, what's your dream fight next if Amanda gets by Heather Hardy? What's your dream fight for Amanda Serrano? We all said 3, 2, 1, and we all said your name. That's the fight. That's the one, right? Do you agree with me?
I do.
Okay.
I do agree. I think that's an excellent fight. I think it's a fight that's going to show pedigree. It's going to show levels. It's going to show the good old fighting,
Yes.
good old boxing. I think that's what that fight will show.
Okay. Is there a chance it happens next?
Absolutely. I think anything.
You feel
can happen.
confident?
Yeah, I feel like anything can happen in boxing. I know that I do have a mandatory, but of course, we want the super fights, as
Right.
Eddie has mentioned before. So Amanda Serrano is next who we want.
Okay. And I'm assuming this would be at 130, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have any interest in going to 126?
I don't.
Okay.
But I mean, it's still an option. But I like 130. I
Yes.
think Amanda can come up and we can fight for that.
Okay. Now, I think that she is due for a big fight in Puerto Rico. They have a new stadium there, a new arena there. She's a big star there. How would you feel about defending your titles, but in Puerto Rico?
I think where I'm at in my stage, I feel like that fight deserves to be in a bigger venue. I think a Vegas or a New York. I think
Okay.
that brings more fans from everywhere around, and not so much just Puerto Rico.
Okay.
I don't mind it.
I think that would be a hot crowd. That
It-
crowd would be intense.
What, you think so?
Oh my gosh, I just watched a pro wrestling event there, a WWE event.
Okay.
Bad Bunny, you know Bad Bunny?
Yeah.
He competed. It's one of the hottest crowds that I've ever heard in my life. And I think that if there's a scenario where he walks her out, like that place will go insane. Maybe you get, I know as the champion you don't want to necessarily go to enemy territory. I get that. But I just think where would be the biggest spot for that fight? I feel like it would be there.
You think so? Over
Yes.
New York?
Yes.
Okay.
Puerto Rico, and it's a brand new stadium.
Yeah.
And it's huge. It's like 18, 19,000. Do you hate this? Do you hate that I'm putting this out there?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I think I'm not aware that they actually have a stadium.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty dope. But I mean, I'm gonna keep it in the back of my head.
Okay, all right. Now, I asked her about this on Wednesday, and she was very non-committal. Do you think that she has interest in fighting you?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I think she understands where she's at right now in her career and what she's able to do. And right now, she's focused on the rematch with Katie Taylor. She wants to get her bag, and I think she wants to make her exit out. And again, I think her team as well. They don't want a young bull in there with her. I'm hungry.
Yeah,
I'm young. I'm 29. I'm in my prime. I got a lot of power.
right.
And, they want to make sure that their fighter can leave the sport in one piece.
So the problem with that is Katie Taylor, of course, is fighting November 25th against Chantel Cameron. It's a tough fight.
It is.
It's a very tough fight. And, of course, it didn't go her way. It was a close fight. We were both there. But I think the right person won. I was blown away by Cameron. If Katie loses again, could happen, don't you kind of feel like the Serrano rematch doesn't have the luster anymore?
It doesn't. I think that fight was a one-time fight. I think with women's boxing, we have so many big fights to make, like a Katie and Amanda. But why not make? Let's spread it out.
Yes.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Let's
You
have
versus Amanda.
Yeah, me and Amanda, or me and Katie.
Oh.
I want a piece of Katie.
Why?
Respectfully.
Why is that?
Because of who she is and what she's been able to do for the sport. I like her style of fighting, and I think styles make fights. And just to share the ring with her and just to see where I'm at
Yeah.
really, really will show where I am.
Do you think Eddie would want to make that fight?
I mentioned it plenty of times to him.
What's his
see why
response?
not. Sure.
Yeah?
I think so. I think it's very limited with the women right now. We only have a handful of women who are undisputed. And, with the weight class for where they're at, we're able to go up and down.
Sure.
So why not make this fight?
It's interesting that you say that. I do think we're seeing, obviously, a lot of undisputed fights on the male side of things as of late. Obviously, last weekend. And, we've got another one coming up September 30th. But I just feel like the men are more eager to make the big fights, even undisputed or not, Tank Garcia, etc. And I kind of feel like they saw you guys have all the big fights and the undisputed fights, and you're holding 4 belts. And I feel like the women kind of led the way in this regard. Do you agree with that?
We definitely
Yes,
led the way.
you deserve the credit for that.
Yes, we did. And I think women's boxing we put boxing on our back for like the end of the year last year.
Yes.
Like, we were really, it was going. We were moving, we were selling out, we were making noise, and we continue to do that. And so as we continue to do that, we need to make these big fights.
Did you ever take a look? We obviously cover a lot of mixed martial arts here. And let's be honest, as far as women and the respect that they get, like, I think MMA was a little bit ahead of boxing with Ronda Rousey and all the big fights. Like, you would have big UFC cards with 11 male fights and then 2 women at the top, and no one batted an eye, no one said anything. And the UFC deserves a lot of credit. And obviously, Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano before her. Did you ever look at all of that as you were coming up and saying, like, I hope this happens in my sport too, that I can get an opportunity to headline big cards where it's not just an all-women's card or a smaller show? Like, I want to be on the big shows and the big stages. Did you see what MMA was doing? Did that give you hope about pro boxing?
Yeah, absolutely. I saw it. I saw the way they promoted the women. I saw that they were main events. I saw that there was co-main events. And it wasn't something out of the norm. This was normal. People were coming to see a combat sport. Whether it was a male or a female, they knew they were going to have a great fight. And so as I growing in my pro career, I'm like, man, I want that. I can have that. We can get there. And we've came very close. I mean, we're there. I mean,
yeah.
we have main events. We had co-main events at the O2 Arena. That was all women's card. We did amazing, and that was great. I loved it.
How much has life changed for you since you beat Michaela Mayer?
Life has just been great. It's been progressive. Beating Michaela was just another accomplishment in my life, but it only gets better from there, right? And it was more respect that was given, because a lot of people maybe didn't know me, or they did know me and was waiting for me to have an opportunity like that to prove to the world why I was who I was and why I was going to beat Michaela Mayer.
You guys sold that fight incredibly well. I love pro wrestling as well, and I love the art of selling fights and pageantry and all that stuff, and you guys did a tremendous job. Do you have any interest in ever revisiting that fight? Maybe in a different way, class. I don't know. Because the feud was great. I just don't know if you want to just run it back because you won fair and square. And
I would love to run it back.
Okay.
Just to hit Michaela Mayer in the face one more time would be excellent. I think we built a great fight. I think people would love to see a second fight. She believes she won till this day.
Really?
I know that I beat this. Still.
When you see her, did you see her in Dublin?
I didn't.
You never saw her?
Oh, yeah, a glance. I did see her.
Did you guys say anything?
No, we never do.
No,
No.
friendship?
No.
The beef is still there?
The beef is still there.
Really? Why is it
very
still there on your end? You beat her.
Listen, I'm chilling. I'm cool. But just to think that someone still beat me and they're that bitter, I want to fight you again. I'll
really?
fight you again.
You think she would do it?
Yeah, I mean, she claims that she would do it. I will even move up to 135 to fight Michaela. She made it a big issue that weight was something she couldn't make. Well, I'll go to 35 and fight you and still beat you. So however she wants to do it, I'm willing to do it.
How was it fighting back home last month?
Everything.
A dream?
Your homecoming fight is something that you look forward to. I know there was some homecoming juju on everybody. I'm like, that's not going to happen for me. This is my moment. It was a fight that I was able, for the first time, I had peace. It was quite weird at first because I'm like, am I supposed to be a little nervous? But I was at peace. My family, my friends came out. It was a great show. I'm fighting Leonardo too, the girl that gave me my first loss. Yeah. It's coming around full circle. I'm a completely different fighter. I'm the undisputed champion. Everything worked in my favor, and it was just a great time to reflect on.
By the way, is Clarissa really fighting Keith Thurman? What is going on here?
I don't know. I
Do
saw
you believe
that.
this
I'm
stuff?
like, social media will sell you a dream.
Yes.
Okay.
This can't be real, right?
Listen, I saw Keith talking about it being maybe a charity event. So.
Do you have any interest in this?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't think that Clarissa needs to prove herself to anybody. She's already proven enough who she is in the sport, and I think, fighting Keith Thurman, what does that do?
Right.
What are you trying to be? Are you trying to be superior? Are you trying to compete with the man? I'm never trying to compete with the man. I know my position, and my position is a great one, okay, because I'm a queen.
Yes, well said. Just a couple more, and I'll let you go. This has been great. I've really enjoyed this. Shadeja Green is fighting on this card tomorrow night. I think she wants maybe Savannah Marshall and then Clarissa. Can she beat a Clarissa Shields?
Anybody can beat anybody. I think Shadeja has been waiting for this moment for herself. As a fighter and as women, when we're given the opportunity to take advantage, we've been fighting for a long time. We've been waiting for that time. So I think Shadeja, she's hungry. So I think how she looks in this fight, can potentially get a fight with Savannah and then Clarissa. You have to go through the opponents that Clarissa fought to get to Clarissa. She's not just going to give you a fight, that's for sure.
Fair enough. Okay, so when are we seeing you again? Are we going to see you again in 2023, or
you are going to see me
really?
Again? Yes.
Okay. So
I want to be out in fall. I want to be out in October if we can. I like to stay busy. I'm in the gym, always active. So if we can get back in October, I would love it.
Okay, and who's the dream opponent? Who's the dream/realistic opponent for October?
Honestly, I have my mandatory, and we know who that is. That's Choi. I've been wanting her for quite some time. She kind of had messed some things up, but now she fought when I fought. So I'm like, why not fight her? For me, that's another great performance to show the world.
I love it. Okay, and perhaps back home in Michigan?
Back home.
Oh,
maybe,
yeah?
Honestly, I want to go to Vegas.
Okay.
I want to go to Vegas.
T-Mobile? MGM
T-Mobile,
Grand?
yes.
Okay.
MGM Grand. Or New York. They love me in New York. I want to be able to go all around the world, in the States. We fought in the UK quite a few times.
Right. Are you freezing right now, by the way? I mean,
no,
you're freaking jacked. I saw you one time when they put you on camera before your fight, and I think you were sitting next to your manager, correct me if I'm wrong, and I was like, oh my God. You can scare a lot of people if they were walking down a dark alley or something like that. I love the relationship, by the way, that you have with friend of the program, Sky Nicholson. It seems like you've kind of like put your arm around her and shown her the way, so to speak. She obviously has some lofty goals. She chose not to go to the Olympics in the end. She's going to continue down her path. Does she have what it takes to be a undisputed champion like you?
Absolutely. She has the mindset. Sky is someone who's willing to learn, and I'm able to teach. So if I can be a helping hand, a voice, just to pass down something, so be it. But, all these young girls who are coming up and wanting to be world champions are more than able, more than capable of doing it. They just have to continue to put the work in and hard work at that.
Well, this has been an absolute pleasure. She is going to be working on the broadcast tomorrow on DAZN pay-per-view, of course, Jake Paul versus Nathan Diaz. Do you have a pick for the main event?
I have Jake Paul.
Yeah?
Yeah. Jake Paul, he's hungry. He got a loss last time. He has redemption. He's ready to put it on Nate tomorrow.
Okay.
So we'll just have to see.
Can't wait for it. Can't wait to work with her as well. This has been great. Really appreciate the time.
Yes,
all the best to you, and congrats on all your success.
Thank you.
There she is, the undisputed queen herself, the pride of Michigan, the one and only Alycia Baumgardner, who hopefully we see back in action come October. You could just put the thing down. We're a very sort of loosey-goosey show here. It's not like pro TV like you're used to. Thank you so much, and all the best to you. What an absolute beast. If you haven't seen her fight just yet, you've got to see her fight. She is incredible and one of the absolute best right now in women's boxing. In a matter of moments, by the way, we're going to be joined down the line by GC and New York Ric, also the biggest babyface in the biz. Might actually give GC a run for his money in terms of babyface business is concerned. Mr. Wade Plem is going to join us as they are tearing down the stage behind us here. What a scene this is. This is phenomenal. Look at this. Is the ring even up yet? No, it's not.
It doesn't
quite.
look like
No, it doesn't look like it. Is GC here, by the way?
You're right here, man.
Oh, GC, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic.
You said you're coming about weight. I mean, he easily clears me as biggest baby.
You think so?
It's not even close.
Why, you saw him?
Oh, I've seen him all week, man. Anywhere he goes, he's getting mobbed.
He's an absolute babyface. And we'll be joined by Wade Plem in a few minutes' time. But right now, in a matter of seconds, we're going to be joined by another member of the DAZN team. She made her debut on the Most Valuable Prospects show very recently, the one that was headlined by H2O Silv. She is Sibley Scoles, who's kind enough to join us here. Maybe the coolest hair in the history of television. And she's bringing gifts. Or maybe she just wants to punch me in the face. Okay, we're going to talk about it. Hello, Sibley. How are you? Thank you for joining us. I am Ariel. Is everything okay? Do you like the way you look? Okay, you have to talk into this. Have you talked into a microphone before?
This is my first day on the job.
Okay, welcome.
Never done this before.
Wow.
No, it's great to sit with you.
Yes,
Everyone's
this is tremendous.
like, this is big time getting up there to talk to you.
I don't know about this.
Appreciate
I don't know if you noticed, there's no one here. They're tearing down the set. This is as small time as it gets, Sibley, okay? The Waynes were big
Ground
time.
level.
Yes, this is it. By the way, what's going on with your teeth? Holy
I have
smokes.
jewels.
You have
They're
jewels?
Not dirty, people. My teeth
Oh,
are not dirty.
this is, can we see?
Said it like I had
What? No.
broccoli and
No. Wow.
Yeah.
Real?
Do you want some?
I'm kind of blown away by them.
They're not. I mean, they're Swarovski crystals, but they're not drilled into my teeth.
How do you keep them
They're
there?
bonded like braces.
No way. How many?
I have a lightning bolt here. I have 2, so 4.
4. And the nails are
Yeah,
wild.
the nails, listen.
And the hair as well.
Yeah.
It's just a whole vibe.
Trying to keep it together.
No, I love it. I love everything about
I
it.
just got into Dallas, so I'm excited.
From where?
From LA.
Okay, LA.
Yes.
Now you do work for the Raiders as well, the Las Vegas Raiders.
I work for the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm the in-game host going on my 3rd season with them.
Okay.
As well as I host a show called Raiders Talk of the Nation. It airs on NBC in Las Vegas. So a lot
So if you live in LA, how do you work for? You just go for the games? I mean,
shout out to the Raiders. They take care of me.
Look
They
at
send
you.
me over
PJ?
there every week. Yeah. Oh yes.
Wow, she got the PJ.
They gave me flight lessons and everything.
Really? Okay.
You know, maybe season 5,
Just
6.
you say it, then people run with it, and then they expect it. They expect, oh, if we're going to be in business with Sibley,
You said it.
you need a better agent if they're not asking for that type of treatment.
Do you fly on a PJ?
No, I do not. I do not.
We're both screwed.
Yes, we are both screwed. I'm last row, the ones that don't recline with the bathroom in the back, you know?
So you,
I'm just a very no frills kind of guy, Sibley. I'm just very
as long as you
down
get
to
the
earth.
destination, that's
I don't
the-
care. I'm here to work. I've been
Well, I
here since
walked here.
Tuesday. Choo Tuesday. That's how long.
Tuesday.
Yes, that's how we say it.
Okay,
I'm
I am
Canadian.
not.
Yes, you just got to come in.
Literally
ama-
like 3 hours ago.
Did you see the weigh-ins?
No, I didn't get to see them. I was looking online though.
Okay.
Because as soon as I landed, we hit that beautiful Dallas traffic.
Oh, so you missed them.
So I missed it, but I was on the phone checking everything out. I've been watching your live stream. I've
Okay,
been checking
okay.
out. I posted about it so people can
You did.
Yeah.
You gave us the rub.
I want everyone to see what's cool, what I'm doing in my life.
Of
too, you
course.
know?
And recently you worked on the Most Valuable Prospects card, right?
Yes.
What was that like for you? Did you enjoy it? Have you always been a boxing fan, or is this a new venture for you?
So shout out to all the people over at Craft Boxing. Love working with them out in Calabasas. There's a great facility out there that I boxed pretty much the last 10, 12 years of my life, me personally. Not
You
in
boxed?
the ring, but I bought, yes,
To
I boxed.
train?
I'm ready, yes.
Wow.
I'm boxing.
Okay.
I love it. It's something that I enjoy watching all the time. But to immerse myself into the sport now, this year, totally has been a game changer. It's been nice. They've opened you yourself. Everyone's open arms welcoming me, which is, not always how it goes, depending on where you're at. The last 8, 9 years, I've covered just solely entertainment, red carpet events, different things. And so now, the last 3 seasons with the Raiders, then getting into this and with MVP, it's been an eye-opening experience. But I've head down, practicing, learning, growing, and getting in there.
So can you rank them for me in terms of your favorite type of person to interview? Fighter, football player, entertainer?
Oh, you can't make me rank
Why?
those.
No, I can I guess? Can I guess?
Okay, go ahead.
I kind of feel like the fighter is going to be the most raw, open, and honest one, right?
Well, immediately following a fight, yes. As
Yes,
soon as the match
and
is
even
over,
building
that's
it up
cool.
because they have to promote themselves. They're in the business of selling themselves
Yes.
pay-per-views. They can't rely on the team. Then I feel like the football player will be number 2 because, no, really?
No,
Interesting.
I'm just listening.
Okay, well, you made a face. You made a face. And then I feel like there's so many PR people and handlers with the entertainment stuff, and it's just
Yes.
it's hard to get to the real person.
What I enjoy in the boxing world and mixed martial arts as well is that I can come 2 days earlier, not for this specific fight because I'm doing more entertainment side and getting back to my roots of celebs and
Okay.
seeing who's here. But I love that I'll come 2 days early and get to know the fighters, get to know their families, and do the interviews there before I have to step into that ring.
Okay.
And, talk about who the winner is and where they came from. Because I haven't known the sport like everyone else has known it so, wholeheartedly, I have had to use my strengths of understanding a human being and why they decided to put themselves in that ring and put their body through something.
Yes.
So I go through the heart first, get their information and their family, and just study them for 2 days. And you can't do that in interviews and entertainment.
Right.
Sometimes it's like go to the red carpet, watch the movie, and you get 2 seconds. And like you said, the PR is like pulling them.
Right.
And then in sports, I was born and raised a Raider fan, so I've been watching football my whole life. It's just sometimes, it's surreal, those moments. But I feel like boxing is so cool to be able to get to the heart of that fighter and to know their families or friends or anything, and to watch them put everything on the line and then talk to them afterwards.
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling.
It's cool.
Are you an MMA fan?
I am.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, who's your favorite?
Okay, so wait, listen. So I was doing something before I was doing this. I was working on Lights Out, and I was doing. That's actually where I started working with afterwards with Jake Paul and
Okay.
and promotions. I was doing post-fight interviews. Had no idea really what I was talking about. That's the honest truth, because I'm a fan of sport. but I didn't know, like, a guillotine, like
Right.
take somebody down. But I studied my butt off.
Nice. That's Sean Merriman's
now-
promotion, right?
Yes.
Yes. The
So
former Charger.
Yeah, so he gave me my start in that spot in the MMA, and it kind of just picked up from there. And so it's been great of just learning and understanding, the front, the back, and everything that has to do with the sport.
Who is, in your opinion, if I could interview people for the rest of my life,
Yes.
I will be a very happy man. I don't need anything else. All I love to do is interview. That's why this show is called the MMA Hour, and it's 4 hours long because I just love interviewing people. 4 hours, sometimes 5, sometimes 6. No breaks. We just keep going every Monday and Wednesday. Not really.
You have a Celsius.
I mean, it's here. Do you want one?
Sure, crack it open. Can
Okay.
you have those?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you
Lots.
thirsty right now? Yes. We go crazy here. Who is the greatest interviewer of all time in your opinion? Cheers.
Oh, interviewer.
Who's your
Anthony Bourdain is someone.
may he rest in peace. Yes.
To him. I am someone who got obsessed with him in the early days, Kitchen Confidential, and just, it's unfortunate what he was fighting himself with, and had to go through. And to anyone that is feeling that, please, talk to someone, and there's always help there. He was so instrumental in me taking a step back and really listening to the person that I'm interviewing, as opposed to stepping on toes or trying to just get these questions done. It was more so he would have a conversation with people, and I think that's why so many people flocked to that show to watch what he was
all off the
doing.
cuff,
Yeah.
nothing scripted, conversations. And that's always what I tell people. People ask me, like, what's the key to a great interview or to interviewing? And I say, if I'm going out to eat with you, I'm not bringing a sheet of questions.
No.
We're talking, we're listening, you're asking a follow-up, I'm asking a follow-up, and those are the best conversations. And that's essentially what Anthony Bourdain's show and style was.
Real life.
Yes.
Real
That's a great
life.
call,
That's
Anthony
what we're
Bourdain.
doing.
Yes, that's what we're doing. We had nothing planned. We had absolutely nothing planned. Do you want to try the Celsius? You
Yes,
can
I
have
wanna
it if
try
you'd
it.
like.
No.
Sibley Scoles here.
Fantasy vibe. Here we go.
Yes. Let us know how it is. Blown away by her teeth, her hair. I mean, the whole thing.
There's a lot of them,
Yeah, there's a lot of
funny up
teeth.
here.
There's a lot of things
this
on
is
them.
great.
You enjoy it.
Yes,
you
I'll
can
take
have
a
that.
case if you want to send me
No
some.
problem. What is that, by the way?
I was going to say, should I talk about my duties tomorrow?
Please tell us
at
what
the
you're doing.
fight?
What are you doing on the
So I
DAZN
have
pay-per-view?
The DAZN pay-per-view. Excited to be a part of it, by the way. So Nate and Jake have both signed these gloves. We're doing giveaways. There's going to be a chat function.
Okay.
So it's streaming, it's on pay-per-view. Anyone who's at home watching it, make sure you get involved. The first thing you see of me tomorrow during the fights is basically letting you know this is our live stream. You have the capability to chat with us, and we'll read some of the things that you have to say. We want to make sure everyone at home is involved with the fight and what's going on. And like I said, this is one of the giveaways, so make sure you tune in because...
How does one get it?
So I don't know the exact games yet.
Okay.
That we're gonna play,
Okay. Got it.
All right, I just
Okay.
got here.
That could be worth a lot of money one day.
Right?
Yes. Jake
So I
Paul,
won't
Nathan
touch it
Diaz.
too much.
Yeah.
The white
Put that
glove.
in a case. I like the yellow, not really a conventional color
Right,
for
not
a glove.
Black glove,
Right.
white glove, red, blue. Like, this is a good one here. So we're doing things like that to just make sure everyone who's watching is getting involved and having a good time. Beyond that, I am going to be scoping out all the seats, checking out to see what celebs, what musicians, what artists, all the creatives that are out here watching the fight who came out to Dallas. So I'll be tuning into that, and you'll hear from me throughout the entire evening.
Do you like the influencer boxing stuff?
I do. You know what? I don't want to steal Mike Tyson's answer on this because I know on Hot Boxing he has said that before. And it was asked about, Jake and his brother, which his brother is super cool that they're making history where he's going to be in WWE.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
On the same night, they're both competing on massive shows. And then his brother Logan, by the way, I don't know if you saw this, is going on the PJ. He has a PJ.
He has a PJ.
He has a PJ, for goodness sakes.
Logan,
and is
call
going
us.
to come from Detroit and try to make it here in time. That is crazy.
I think he can do it.
I think he could do it too.
Yeah.
If his match, I mean, honestly, if he doesn't get hurt.
He'll be able to,
Right.
He'll get over to see his brother. But yeah, I think, honestly, now in 2023 and beyond, there's so many opportunities for people, not just in the sport of boxing, but to be able to do the things that you really want to do. There's so many outlets. And so I admire people who have a dream and who aren't just using it to be famous. And I've interviewed Logan before. He's come to some Raider games, and I just said, how do you feel taking on, the WWE? That's difficult, no matter what anyone says about it. I've watched it since I was a kid. And he had such a great answer about how much he honored that title and what he was doing in that sport. And so anytime you can tell me that you care something so deeply, it doesn't matter if you're an influencer, it doesn't matter where you came from or if you didn't understand anything. Like I said, hell, I didn't know everything, but I'm working hard to make sure I understand the sport. I understand the fans, and I understand what people want to see.
That is tremendous. So you're doing some boxing, you're doing the Raider stuff, you're doing the entertainment stuff. Right now, top of your head, tough question. I kind of hate when people ask me this question, but I'm going to ask it to you anyway. Dream interview. Like, who's the top?
Oh,
Someone that you would love to speak to before it's all said and done.
Dream interview. Gosh, I always have that in my head, and now I'm trying to think of, like, who would I really, really want?
1 hour.
So hard.
Unfiltered, unedited.
Gosh, there's so many people that I would like to sit and talk to. I think Dave Chappelle.
Oh, man. That would be a great one.
Be someone I'd like to talk to just because of where he came from and what he's doing now and how he's changed the landscape of the way comedy's delivered and storytelling. I think I would really like to sit with him.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk to Howard Stern. He, to me, is like, he's my Bourdain.
Yes.
I like.
Have all the books.
You have all them, the
Yes.
movie, Private Parts. Still listen to him. To me, he's the greatest ever.
Yeah.
As far as interviewing, breaking people down, getting them to open up.
Yeah.
I'm in awe of how he gets people to forget that they're on air. Right? And just speak about, and some people think of Howard Stern as the crazy guy, but like just if you actually pay attention to his skills.
Especially now, I think.
Yeah.
The interviews that he's doing now.
Oh, yeah. Later
the
in his
last
career.
like 6-7
Yeah,
years have been so beautiful to watch because they've elevated completely in a different way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
From how he started, and he's just someone like, he would be a great person to sit with as well, to just kind of pick their brains and just listen. Like, I'd probably just start with one question and then just here, let
And
me
hopefully, yes, and hopefully he just imparts tremendous wisdom. This has been a lot of fun, Sibley.
Yes.
So great to meet you. It's rare that you get to meet someone like literally live on air
I
and
know.
not speak beforehand, but very excited to be working with you. Big fan of your work. You're doing tremendous stuff, and it's an honor to be a part of the team
Yes.
with you tomorrow here on DAZN Pay-Per-View. Again, she's going to be all over the place, and perhaps if you're watching as well, you can win that glove signed by Jake Paul and Nathan Diaz. It's going to be amazing. And if you are watching on DAZN Pay-Per-View, just make sure you check out the teeth. Can you switch them? Can you do?
No.
No, you can't do that. It's unbelievable.
So
Never
happy I
seen.
brushed my teeth today.
Oh my God! A lot of emphasis on your teeth. I mean, I can't stop staring at them if I'm being honest. It's like there's a lightning bolt there.
Your teeth are ready. It's time.
You think I should do it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
time.
All right. I might consider it.
You got to do it.
Thank you so much.
Everyone, do it. It's
Much
fun.
love, and we'll
Thank
see you
you. I
tomorrow.
appreciate you.
Thank you
I'm
for
so
stopping
grateful
by.
for this.
All the best to you. You could just put the microphone down. It's very raw here. It's very like flowing, and enjoy that. Yes, deuces as well. Welcome to Dallas, by the way. Straight from the plane. There she is, Sibley Scoles. You can see her on the broadcast tomorrow, along with myself, along with Shawn Porter, Todd Grisham, Ade Oladipo, Akin Barak. Who else? There's a couple other guys that I've been told. Oh, Dan Hardy, legend, the outlaw. Dan Hardy is going to be involved as well. And how about this, my friends? Oh, alert the masses. Alert the masses. The biggest babyface in the biz is here. Oh, my God. Everyone loves him. I mean, he pretty much built this whole scene. Every time I see anything regarding the whole influencer scene, there's only one man and one man only who's the authority, the voice of the people. My good friend and yours. I was just on his show. Now he's on my show. But let me tell you something about his setup. One of the all-time great setups. The one and only Wade Plem is here. Now, is it Wade Plem or Plemons?
So Plemons is my full name. Thanks for outing that, Ariel. Appreciate it.
Well, I mean, I've seen it out and about. What do you have, a stage name? You're that big time?
It's the stage name.
Why'd
Come
you
on, man.
change?
My full name. You want to know my full name?
Yes.
Taylor Wade Plemons. How about
Really?
that? Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
Shout out, Mom. Love you.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. She did. I have brothers that name starts with T. We got confused as kids, so Wade
Went
made
with Wade.
sense. Yeah.
And then Plem instead of Plemons?
Plem instead of Plemons. It rolls off the tongue a little bit,
Yeah,
I think.
I like it. You know I'm a big fan.
I do.
You're doing
Appreciate
tremendous stuff. Appreciate all the love you showed to me.
Of course.
Means a lot. It was great to be on with you and Ade yesterday.
That was awesome.
We had the nice little round table, the debate, as you called it, about not only this fight, but everything. And you're going to be working on the broadcast as well tomorrow. Man, you got a tough freaking job.
Yeah.
Whole card.
Yep.
Start to finish, prelims, main card, play-by-play, you and Darren Barker
Yes.
on the DAZN Pay-Per-View
Legend,
Global
by the
feed.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a tough assignment.
Yeah.
How many times have you done play-by-play?
I did my first one ever for Creator Clash. Do you know what Creator Clash is?
Come on.
I didn't know. I know you locked in, man. I know.
John
I shouldn't even
Hennigan?
ask.
My guy John Hennigan.
Yes. So I did the first one, though.
Yeah, you did the one last year.
Yeah, so that was my first time ever.
Okay.
10,000 people in the arena.
Unbelievable.
It was the scariest thing ever, but I enjoyed it. It was great.
Were you super nervous?
Of course.
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I won't do this here, but I did it on this broadcast. I had to go out and take a shot.
No way.
I did it just because
Just to calm down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So beforehand, I did that, and then I ended up losing my voice.
No way.
So
You think because of the shot?
I think so. I
Wow.
don't think alcohol's the best for you before you do it, but it was a great time. I did that one, and then I got the color commentary gig with DAZN, which I enjoy as well, and Todd Grisham, who's going to be on the U.S. broadcast for DAZN. Amazing layup, man. I call him the D-Wade to my LeBron. He throws it up. I dunk it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I did Creator Clash 2, and then Most Valuable Prospects.
Okay, so you've been all over the place,
Yeah.
and you're not necessarily exclusive.
No.
Right?
No,
You can
not-
bounce
no.
from here to there. Kingpin, I see you rocking the Ireland.
Yeah, come on.
hit, right?
Come
I like
on,
that.
mate. What
It's
do
a
you
nice
mean?
little- yeah.
I rock the Irish.
He's good with the Irish accent. I heard you do the Connor. It was not bad yesterday.
my
It was
Connor's not
tremendous. But so what I'm so fascinated about, I think I first heard about you maybe like a year and a half or so ago, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And someone said that you are like owning the space because there's obviously a thing here and there's a lane.
Yeah.
And you have like, people are like, what? There's people who just cover influencer boxing, and I know you're a big MMA fan, and I know you're a big boxing fan, but you have become the voice. And so I'm wondering, how did it all start, and what made you think, you know what, this guy's doing this covering this, covering that. Let me be the voice for this particular lane.
Yeah. So the way my YouTube started, I was doing commentary, like watch parties for the MMA cards.
What year is this?
2017.
Okay.
2017, the way concept
Strictly
starts.
MMA.
Strictly MMA.
So that's your original entry.
That's my first love, man.
Love it.
I love MMA. It's my go-to all the time. I told somebody this the other day. I was more excited for Dustin and Justin than I was Spence Crawford.
Wow.
It's just
That's
my,
a hardcore
my blood,
fan,
man.
yeah.
So yeah. So I start doing these live commentaries because I don't have a college degree. I'm sleeping on the floor of an apartment in Florida, just trying to figure out what I want to do in my life, man. I'm 24 at the time, and I'm just played college football, did the whole sports thing, but had started training Muay Thai and really enjoyed the sport. So I started watching more MMA, and I'd watched it when I was a kid, but really getting back into the sport. So I started doing these commentaries. Always wanted to be a broadcaster. Dropped out of school, didn't finish, but I'm doing 9 hours from early prelim UFC.
The whole thing?
The whole thing. And the
Golly.
watch parties, myself, you get the little ticker on YouTube's like 2 people watching. And I knew
kidding.
one of them was myself on a different computer. And the
No.
other one, probably my mom. So,
Wow.
so
and that's not discouraging.
Oh, it was for sure, but I was already working 2 other jobs. I was actually in training to be a pro wrestler for a bit.
You're kidding.
Yeah, man. So, Team 3D school down in Orlando. I was there for a bit. Kissimmee.
Yeah.
And then the hurricane that came through from and wiped out and messed up Puerto Rico and kind of came through to Orlando. They shut the school down for a bit, and I ended up doing something else. But yeah, man, I was down there. Devon ran the school, and
How far along did you go?
I was
Like,
in it
did
for
you have
probably
any matches?
6-7 months.
Any matches?
No, I mean, little practice matches.
Sure, but
nothing
not
like
in
that.
front of a
No,
live
no, no,
crowd.
no.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I learned to take bumps, the whole thing. It was it was tough, man. Bumps are no joke. But I remember Billy Gunn also was a trainer there. He said I had a nice head shoulder tie lockup, so I had a nice little collar.
Wow.
Lockup.
That's a nice
when
one
he
for the
says that, when you get the
resume.
rub,
Yeah.
he is just. You want to
Yes.
talk about
Still to this day.
wham, dude,
He's
in
like
his 60s now. or
55,
something.
60,
Yeah,
something
crazy.
like that.
Anyway, so I do that. And I'm doing that for about 3 years, man. I moved back to California. I'm working as a bartender waiter at a restaurant, and I'm cleaning carts down in Orange County, where the Orange County housewives be, So
Yeah.
it's a little, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's a little easier, but a little harder. But I'm doing that and just stuck on 300 subscribers, 3 years in the game doing it. And I'd do like a live show, kind of like the MMA Hour, but way less produced and way less good. It was not good at all, but I was doing it, and finally the MMA kind of, I don't know, fell into influencer boxing, I guess.
Okay.
Because it started. In 2018, influencer boxing started, and I started watching it, and I was like, I have a small amount of training, and everybody's looking at this and kind of just making fun of it. Why not talk to the aspect of I know enough to know I don't know a lot? Like, I can't go and critique Canelo's boxing because why? Who am I?
Sure.
But I can show you guys where these guys are as far as their boxing skill relative to how long they've done it, because I've been through it. So let me just start using my.
Now, was that for the first? Everyone says the first one was Joe Weller, right?
So KSI Joe Weller, I didn't catch on to.
Okay.
I'd seen Logan Paul because I think he was a massive name at that time. He was building the vlog thing, and I saw him in KSI, and I went, okay, this is kind of interesting. Let me take a look. And started covering it and started breaking down a little bit. I remember I broke down their fight one time on a drive to the Grand Canyon. Had my girlfriend at the time hold the camera. I'm breaking it down.
Come on.
It was an hour or
You're
two
just
in the
grinding,
car.
yeah.
Just going, man.
Yeah.
So, and then it really started to go off when I covered, what's crazy enough now, my co-host on the Breakdown podcast, sorry, plug there, Face Sensei and KSI did a spar, and I broke down the spar. And it took off, did like 100,000 views or something, and also the Jake and Nate fight was around that time, and I was just continuing to look, and I'm kind of just going everywhere with this, but Chael Sonnen was...
By the way, for a second you said Jake and Nate, and I was like, Jake and Nate
Robinson.
The
Right,
other
yeah,
Jake.
Robinson, the first
Jake
one,
and Nate.
part one.
Yeah. So we're now in like November of 2020.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So I just continued to grind, and I started to just take little bits and pieces. People don't even know I was working for another YouTube channel at the time. I worked with the NBA Summer League for a bit.
Really?
I've lived like 20 lives, I feel like. I used to go to LA every week pretty much with 200 resumes in my car and just slide them under Fox Sports and slide them into Showtime. I posed as a student at LMU one time to try to get in front of Showtime.
Wow. And just kept going.
Kept going. And
didn't feel sorry for yourself. Didn't lick your wounds when the door was closed in your face.
I was worried. I was worried. Oh, when the door was closed in my face, I just wrote it down. I went, I remember that.
Okay.
I remember it. And there's been some people that I remember more than others. But yeah, it ended up I started to build, and all of a sudden I had this thing where I was working at a couple different jobs, and I just said, you know what, I'm going to go full in, stopped and went full YouTube, and it started working out for me, and here we are.
Okay, so what was like the real turning point? Was it the KSI video?
That was the first big video I had, and I was like, okay, I can really start to push more into this because I feel I'm doing a justice to it, and I'm interested in it. And so I started going back through the catalog of YouTube boxing and running through those breakdowns, and then the big moment where I went, I can do this for real, was when, I don't know if you know this, the YouTube versus TikTok card they did in Miami.
Yep.
And the Jake and Ben Askren fight were kind of right next to each other.
Okay.
And I was covering both of those. And Jake and Ben Askren, that really took the channel to another level because I was riding hard for the MMA community. Jake knows this. We've talked about it. I was just full-on heavy critical of Jake about pretty much everything.
Right.
And, outside of boxing, whatever. And I was convinced Ben was going to win this fight.
You were? On the record?
Yes. Oh, it's on my go. Yeah.
Really?
I picked him.
You and Dana White?
Me, Dana, my boy Face Sensei Rogan. Like, we all were like, okay, he's going to win.
Yeah.
Because what I thought I was going to get from Ben was not what did Mario Lopez said? He was built like a bag of milk. I didn't think I was going to get.
Yeah.
He was coming off the hip.
Right.
And that wasn't necessarily the best Ben. You've seen him, by the way, recently.
He looks fantastic.
Come on now. Jeez.
Abs and everything.
Get him in there again.
Yeah.
I know he's been calling for Jorge. He's been calling for Jorge.
I don't want to see any of that.
But no, I was like, okay, Jake's never been past the first, or at least not as a pro.
Right.
He hasn't had to deal with a guy that, again, I wanted to see heavy volume. I wanted to see what Nate's going to bring him. I wanted to see in his face grappling, clinch exchange. There's nobody better in standing grappling than Ben Askren, funky Askren. So I was convinced I was completely wrong, but yeah, that's where it took off, man.
It's an amazing thing. Anytime you look at anything that you post, like, you have a great connection with the audience.
Yeah.
They root for you. They want to see you succeed.
Yeah.
They're happy for you, right? Like, and that's not easy. It's not easy to develop that. Why do you think you have that connection with the people?
I think from the moment I started, the one thing I didn't want to be was fake or corporate, or I didn't want to lie to people, right? That was my big thing. I didn't want to lie, and I'm heavy on interactions. I don't know if you've seen me on Twitter. I'm probably the worst follow on Twitter ever because I respond to everything.
Okay.
I take all the bait and respond to everything because I
that ain't going to last, by the way.
I know.
You're going to burn out from that,
I know.
for the record. Yes.
And I treat people
But
like
it's good
I'm
to do
talking
it.
to them.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking to you right here. That's how I treat people. So I think that part of it, the interaction part, me trying to be as real, and the word unbiased is thrown around so much now, but try to be as unbiased as I can with things. And yeah, I think that's why I've been able to have and blessed to have a great community. Shout out the Weight Concept community. I know you guys are watching, man.
No, they ride for you hard. They love you. They support you. And then you could see, like, when you tell them, you announce that you're doing something, they're happy for you, right?
Yeah.
They're happy for you. And it feels like it's just positive after positive after positive, but there is a little bit of controversy in there as well.
Yeah, there is.
And I'm not the type, like, I don't want to harp on this, but here's what I want to know. You had that thing with Misfits and Mams and KSI.
Yeah.
And when that was happening, how did you deal with it? Because I don't know if we spoke about it. I think we DM'd like once or twice about it.
You sent me a very encouraging DM, and I appreciate that.
what can happen in a moment like that is you become like consumed by it, and it becomes intoxicating, and you're checking your phone,
Yeah.
and it becomes depressing because you may feel as though everything that you built is now being taken away from you. Away from the phone, away from the camera, away from everything. How are you dealing with all of that as you're now the center of attention for something that's maybe not as celebratory and positive?
Yeah, that was kind of the first time where I had felt major pushback. And it wasn't pushback in a sense of anything that I had, like professionally. It felt personal, you know, and that was the big thing. I'd never felt and experienced something like personal like that. But I had good people around me, man. Shout out to Face Sensei, my brother, True Jordy, Brian, who you know.
Yeah.
Shout out Brian. He was there and said some very encouraging things, and basically just said, you know, don't do anything emotional. You know, be able to take in this moment and just weed through all the way things are said and address what has been said. And that's what I did. And like I said, away from the phone, I was for sure nervous because that's a massive company YouTuber thing. Focusing on you, that can be overwhelming, and it would have probably overwhelmed me had I not been surrounded by good people. But essentially, yeah, I just addressed what I could, and that was it.
Biggest lesson you learned from that experience?
I think you've actually taught me that lesson. We talked yesterday on my show, and one of the biggest things that took away was like, I can't do everything, right? And at some point, I have to realize that there are things that I want to do but maybe can't, and remain as real or unbiased or myself, independent as possible, right? And I think you've taught me that. And watching, I told somebody this the other day, Ara Helwani, for a lot of the guys in this industry, I want to just, give you the rub here for a sec. We walk in your footsteps.
Stop it, man. What is this?
You created this path, and I step through those footsteps that have already been made. And to watch you go out and be independent and not, be squashed by, one of the biggest people and companies you could have been was a big help for me, because one of the first things I thought about, I was like, okay, this is what I can do. And that's my biggest takeaway, is that maybe I can't be a company guy all the time, but I would rather be real, and I'd rather be myself and have my own opinions than be a company guy in lieu of saying something I don't believe.
I mean, first of all, I appreciate those kind words. I feel like at some point this can be rectified. I see all the time that people are asking you all the time, when are you going back? And that's got to be annoying. But listen, you're doing great things. Yeah. You're a part of this. That is tremendous. And it feels like you continue to level up. And that's what typically happens when you are positive and you treat people the right way and you do things the right way. Other opportunities are going to come. Yeah. Even if something gets slammed in your face, that's why I asked you, you don't feel sorry for yourself. You don't lick your wounds. You don't say, woe is me.
Yeah, right.
You don't get lost in the comments and people who are trying to root for your demise. And I'm sure there's not many of those, but you just have to keep going, keep forging on. And you're 30 years old, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I woke up and I became the old guy. I don't understand how this happened.
It's not the old guy. It's the industry standard. It's the trailblazer.
What's the dream job? What's the absolute dream job?
I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say I wanted to sit cage side and call MMA fights for the rest of my life.
That's the one.
That plus, you know what it is too? And I can't believe I'm on the MMA Hour and I'm able to say this. I look up to you, and I look up to a guy like Pat McAfee. He's the man.
Incredible.
And I watch him. I played college football. I played football for 17 years. I'd love to be able to do it all. Go call MMA, go call college football, go talk NFL, go talk basketball, like you're doing now too. I would love to do it all, but at the end of the day, if it was one job, it'd be that. Sit cage side and call some of the greatest fights on earth.
I feel like you're almost there.
We'll see, man. I hope so.
You're pretty damn close. I mean, I saw you at PFL Europe, right?
Yeah. That was a crazy thing too, man. I don't know how many people saw that. I was doing backstage interviews, which I haven't done a ton of, but then at the end, because Dan Hardy, Dan Hardy is the man.
Filled in, right?
Yeah, he had to go in the cage, and they were like, wait, jump on camera. And here I am sat next to Stefan Struve, and I'm like, oh, hey, what's going on? It felt so good just to be in the pocket. They call it that. Being in the pocket, it felt great.
It
felt like
more of that.
Home.
Yeah. You gonna do more?
I would hope so. Yeah, I'm not scheduled right now, but we'll see.
Yeah, because PFL Europe is on DAZN, right?
Yep. That's the connection usually for stuff for me.
They have other MMA, Octagon on DAZN. They're getting more and more involved in the world of MMA, so I love that. Just a couple more, and then I'll let you go.
Sure, yeah.
KSI Jake, will it ever happen?
I'll say this: it seems like they've gotten this close a couple of times. It's tough to go right back to the negotiation table after you've been that close. I understand that, but it seems like it can get done. It should get done, but it's going to be incumbent upon both camps, again, to come back to the table. like you said yesterday, drop the pride and just figure it out. Just figure it out. I don't know if it's weight. I don't know if it's money. I don't know if it's location, commission, whatever it is, figure it out. Because if Jake wins here and KSI wins there, it's the only fight. The biggest. The biggest.
Like, gigantic.
It's 5
Sells
years,
out Wembley.
5 years in the making. 6 it will be.
Right.
And so many intricate story beats and points that you can weave in and out of. Brother rivalry. They beat each other's brothers. It's crazy to think this is not the one. They've had this face-to-face back and forth for years now. It's one, but it's just going to have to depend on what they do in these next fights and if they want to come back to the table.
Does Nate have a shot tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I saw Shawn Porter up here talking, and Shawn is
did
the
the
man.
13-second breakdown of his sparring.
I know.
No, of his hitting the mitts. And I was like, wait, 13 seconds. I brought this up like a million times.
I was sitting over here, I was like,
yeah.
But no, I saw Shawn talking about how, the differences in cardio, and he's right.
Yeah.
A lot of MMA guys do struggle with coming to the boxing complete output just over and over. Nate's not one of those guys. Nate's not a high-level, explosive, fast-twitch athlete like Tyron Woodley is, right? Anderson Silva, while Jake has now fought a southpaw in Anderson, that's a massive thing for Jake. He's not the same striker as Nate, right? I talked to you about this yesterday. Nate is not even a boxer. He's not an MMA fighter striker.
Right.
He learned how to strike from Cesar Gracie,
Right.
who is not any sort of technical striker. So you're talking about a guy that you can't really prepare for how he strikes and what he does as far as like his volume plus the slaps plus the heavy digs. Like he switches up the volume with the power, with the volume, and it's just a tidal wave. So I think he's got more than a chance. It's just going to come down to Jake's level of experience dealing with volume, pace, pressure. He's dealt with 2 out of the 3. This one's going to be all 3.
Sean brought up a great point. It kind of like struck me in the moment, and then he sort of, he cemented it when Nate said up there,
I saw it too. He said,
what did you make of that?
No matter what happens tomorrow, you still can't win a real fight. I think it was a little bit of kind of goading Jake because they've been talking back and forth about like doing an MMA thing. It does concern you to hear it because it's like, what do you mean no matter what happens tomorrow? What are you saying? Don't do that, Nate. What are you saying? And then you also put into and I don't know if many people have talked about this, Nate is 37, right? But also he's fighting a couple of weight classes up than he's ever fought. And that's what worries me because he's naturally a big guy. But Jake's naturally a bigger guy. And we know that when you have to cut weight, you naturally have to get in better shape. Not to say Nate's not going to be in great shape. He's going to be. But fighting at a weight you're not accustomed to, I just wonder if that weighs on him a little more and we don't see that typical Nate surge. Still being in the fight, but maybe it's round 7, round 8, round 9, and we don't see that Nate really coming forward, really high pressure. That's what I worry about.
If Nate wins, does he stick with this whole boxing scene or does he go back to the UFC?
Listen, he was already in negotiations to fight Logan, right?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And the money is there. They talked about it. And Jake was saying on Logan's podcast, you offered him a ton of money and thought that was going to be it. We offered him more realistic fight or whatever, but that one's there. I'm sure,
You think he'd prefer that over going back to the UFC, maybe headline UFC 300?
Oh, no. If it's him and Conor, then that's the fight.
Yeah.
Because that's the trilogy. They both have that respect, and they both want that one. I would say for Nate, and you even talked to him this week, he was like, now being outside of the UFC, I can kind of see why they did some of the things they did, and I'm actually more excited about it. Maybe that is the path going back. I just think of it as like, if you're going to take out one of the Paul brothers, you might as well do both, right?
Right. Last one, I'll put you on the spot since you are a big MMA fan and we are technically an MMA show.
Yes.
Corey Sandhagen, Rob Font, happening tomorrow night as well.
What's great?
Yeah.
Rob Font is one of Faye Sensei's like boys.
Wow.
You're talking about Haverhill. So shout out Haverhill, Massachusetts. That Sean Farley, shout out by the way. He's gonna love that. Him and you have what do they call themselves? New England.
Oh, the Cartel.
Yeah, the New England Cartel. You have
Calvin Kattar.
him and Calvin Cater.
Tyson Chartier.
They all fight out of there. I'm gonna say Sandhagen's tough. Man, because he talks about striking in a way that no one else really talks about, and he's like manipulation of space. And I enjoy watching him fight so much because he can manipulate you forward and backward, and then he can put volume on you. What he did to Cheeto, I was like, what are we doing here? Cheeto Vera, he's a slow starter, but he doesn't get dominated like that continuously, round after round. And it's not just the same thing. He's switching up the way he fights a guy that has desperation versus a guy he's fighting on the front foot.
Right.
So I'm going to say, God, I love Rob, though, and his boxing is so clean.
This is a tough one for you.
I'm going to say Corey Sandhagen wins this one, man. I think so. And I think it's going to be a technical match. And I think at some point, though, Rob bites down on that mouthpiece, and maybe that is the reason I see a stoppage here for Corey.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Corey's. I think he's a potential future champion. I also think Tatiana Suarez, who's fighting in the co-main event,
Fantastic.
a potential future champion. I feel very confident in saying
Yeah.
that. She obviously has to get by Jessica Andrade, but Tatiana Suarez, if she can realize her potential, is going to be incredible. You are realizing your potential, my man. You're doing a great, great job. It's an honor to be up here with you. It's an honor to be on the show with you and Ade, who I love as well. And I think both of you guys are doing tremendous work, and you have great voices and personality and your own unique style, and that's very important. And I tell a lot of kids, like, look at what you are doing because you found an opening.
Yeah.
You know, no one was really doing that sort of thing. So, and for the most part, from what I see, you're positive, you're energetic. It's not hate, it's not negativity.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that out there.
Yeah.
You're shining, you know, a fun, exciting, positive light on combat sports, and it's really a lot of fun to watch. So keep it up. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure to be up here with you.
Sir.
And thanks for joining us.
Of course. Hey, MMA Hour to the top, man. This is a legend right here, Ariel Helwani. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks so much. There he is, Wade Plem, an absolute mensch of a human being, and he will call all the action from the start of the card to the finish. Prelims, main card, globally, DAZN pay-per-view, tremendous stuff. What a great guy. Really enjoy talking to him and meeting him this week for the very first time. All right, in a matter of seconds, we are going to be joined by our good friends, GC and New York Rick. I do want to let you know that today's program is also brought to you by our other good friends from DraftKings Sportsbook. You could take your shot at huge wins with DraftKings Sportsbook. You can win big. Usually I have my computer up here. Now I look like a jabroni reading off my phone. I'm not reading
You look
text.
great.
Okay, thanks, Frank. I'm very, very self-conscious at the moment. In any event, big with money lines, props, parlays, and more. Right now, new customers can score 150 buckaroos in bonus bets instantly. For betting just $5 on anything, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THEMMA. Again, that's code the MMA Hour only on DraftKings Sportsbook. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY. That's 467-369. In West Virginia, visit www.180 gambler.net in partnership with Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. All games regulated by the West Virginia Lottery. Please play responsibly. And also terms over at sportsbook.draftkings.com/terms. Also want to give another shout out to our good friends over at DAZN. DAZN.com is where you can get the pay-per-view tomorrow night. There it is. Paul versus Diaz going down on Saturday from right here at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. And what a week it has been in Big D all week long from the open workouts. And it's been so nice because really this is my first time working in earnest with DAZN. And everyone has been great. Everyone has been welcoming. Everyone has been kind. But every so often you can look around and see some familiar faces. And I said on Wednesday, this was the highlight of the show for me. These two jokesters holding the microphone like professional broadcasters. We got to throw it over to you once. It was just one and done for you guys. I don't know if someone gave you the old hook, but it was just absolutely amazing. Here they are. They need no introduction. There was only one way to end today's show and to end the week before we get to Saturday night with these two guys, New York Ric GC. Hello, guys.
How we doing, man?
This is great.
Good to be with you.
Busy week,
Should I
huh?
scoot over?
No, you're good.
No, I feel like we got enough room.
Why are we
man.
not? Are we?
No,
I mean, can we
we're
just
too
talk about
cozy?
where we're
I feel
at?
like, yeah.
Are we just posing? Hey, Joe.
Oh,
What? What happened? Well, I don't know what happened. I don't know what Joe
I
said.
think these are supposed to be, you know.
yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if we were posing or not.
Yeah.
Get out of
Guys,
here. Let's
this
just.
I mean, no big deal.
Yeah, I mean, we're taking photos in the middle of the show. Act like we've been here before.
It's the paparazzi. I mean, can you not deal with that?
What about this?
Can
GC
we
telling
talk
me, by the way, you've been here before. Like, he's never seen this sort of thing,
this-
right?
Yeah, behind the scenes. I mean,
They're actually building the ring behind us.
like look at it. Like we're the floor of American Airlines Center, the house Mike Madonna built, Dirk
Shout
Nowitzki
out.
built,
Yeah.
Luka Doncic currently building, Dwayne Wade NBA Finals.
That's
I
right,
mean,
2011.
a lot of moments, and now here we are, the MMA Hour.
Isn't that crazy?
Live
On
from
the
the
zone
floor. On
and
the
the
zone. I mean,
MMA
look at
Hour.
these microphones. How professional.
Yeah, it's wild. Also, I want to let you guys know this little tidbit. There was a chance that this event wasn't going to happen in this arena and maybe not on this date. You know why? Because they're actually updating their video screen. As you can
Oh,
see, they're
wow.
putting,
Yeah.
there's no Jumbotron. And
Yeah.
so they were, because it's off season, there's no Mavericks or Stars playing. So this is actually a custom one that they had to bring in because they didn't want to have no video screen. But there was a moment where they were considering putting this event somewhere else. Beginning stages.
Not at American Airlines. But
not even in Dallas. Not in Dallas because of the screen. So I just looked at it. I was like, oh, wow, that's a screen I heard about.
Yes.
They're making
This screen saved the event. Incredible.
This is it.
I mean, this arena is huge.
Yeah.
It's absolutely magnificent. I can't believe. Would it kill the cameraman to zoom out? Is that
wow.
too much to ask?
GC's producing this.
I mean,
directing it. Wow.
Yeah,
he's
wants
asking
a little extra.
He's like, wow. Rick, how's your week?
I mean, look at there it is.
There it is.
That's an
yeah.
American
You know what?
Airlines
That's a good
Center.
call. It's nice that you did that. Look at us.
I mean,
Look at that.
producer or something? Is that what?
Does it feel weird that we're here? Like, does it feel like how did we trick people into letting us do this?
Yeah. Yeah,
we're all grown up.
I mean,
Yeah,
look at
a little
this
bit of
pan
that.
right now. I mean, it feels like we're on a professional.
We've never had, by the way, we've never had we never even had a cameraman before in the studio.
normally
Yeah,
it's
the
just-
operator
It's
is,
just stable down. I mean,
It's just
Every-
if I get up, it's just like my chest in the studio.
everyone
Here.
keeps telling me, they're like, man, you guys run such a tight ship here. This is really
What is the
professional
tight
stuff."
ship?
I'm just like, yeah, sure, yeah, I guess that's what we're gonna say. This is a
There's
tight
no ship. It's not tight, and
I mean,
there's
look
no
at
ship.
this. We
We got the
Can I have
Celsius.
one?
Yeah, go ahead. Go
Enjoy.
nuts.
Crack that open.
Can I
How's your
fit
week?
a sip
It's
on
been
it?
great.
Birthday week.
Yeah, I mean, more the work aspect of it. Paul Diaz has been good for the social media handles. Follow at MMA Fighting if you haven't already. It's been a good week.
Is it doing better than you thought?
No, I mean, who's been the biggest fan of this fight since the
but
moment
meaning
it was
in terms
made?
of social, because sometimes people look at the numbers. Like I saw yesterday, you had a 2 million one on TikTok, and maybe
Oh, that's
more
up
now.
to like 4.7
So
million.
compared to Tommy Anderson, the Woodley
It's-
fights, where is this one tracking?
I
your
think
opinion?
because of the crossover with Nate Diaz to the MMA audience,
Right.
and them wanting him to beat Jake Paul this badly, I would say the best one of those so far for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, and it's not a
Socially,
lot of
yeah.
negativity, like, oh, well, you know.
No, as I said, I think the storyline for the MMA fans is like go beat Jake Paul. They're rooting for Nate Diaz. They're pulling for Nate Diaz as much as they possibly can. So yeah, it's been very good on social.
And I feel like Nate Diaz, of all the people that have fought him, I know Anderson Silva is such a huge star and he has a ton of fans, but like, man, these people get behind Nate Diaz. When he walked out for these
What a pop.
ceremonial weigh-ins behind us, yeah, you talk about a pop. I mean, all he has to do is throw up the flex.
amazing.
And everyone just goes crazy.
Stone Cold-esque. Can we take a look at the weigh-ins? I want to get your thought on it
Yeah.
because I ran through it earlier. I'm talking about the Diaz-Paul weigh-in from earlier, and then the face-off was the real juicy stuff. First of all, can we give a shout-out to Old Chael P?
Old Chael
showing
P,
up.
man.
First of all, I was up there, and they weren't going to let him go. They were stopping Chael from going on the stage. I was like, no, that's the American
Nobody
gangster.
stops the
Special
American
guest.
gangster.
What
He's
about
not
Chael getting in
stopped.
there?
Sunglasses.
I let you get
Sunglasses look so good.
I've
It
seen
looks so good.
I've seen a lot of can't let you get close memes based on Chael trying to hold Diaz
can we
back.
talk about him? He's really setting the boundaries. He's really playing the alpha.
He's the enforcer.
I mean, he's really being.
So what did you guys think? Like, if we're to rank this,
This was good.
Yeah?
I mean, by far the best of the Diaz Paul face-offs. We've gotten 3 already. This was by far the best one.
Diaz
Most
going for the
animated.
kicks, Jake going for the shadow boxing right in front of his face. Yeah, I felt like there was good energy. Both of them throwing up the birds throughout. Yeah, it felt good. You talked about it with Wade. What Nate had to say. You know, whatever happens.
yeah.
they can't
How'd you
really
feel
fight.
about that line?
I mean, you don't love to hear that. Like, instead of like, I'm going to go out there and kill this guy,
Yes.
but I think at the end of the day, Nate's going to do what he's going to do when he gets.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think what Nate Diaz says in that moment is really going to carry into the ring. I'm sure he's going to give his best performance.
I think there's a case to be made that he was just saying, like, this guy ain't a real
Yeah.
fighter.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
that, no problem.
No worries.
No worries.
man.
We're like literally in the
Having
line
fun.
of fire
love
here.
it. I
They're
love it.
building things. We should probably have hard hats, if I'm being
This will
honest.
work.
Nah,
I
we'll
mean,
be
this
all right.
is straw, but it's hard, dude. It's hard.
The crowd was great. I would say it was like 80-20 in favor of Nate.
yeah,
Yeah,
big
they were
Nate
very
popping.
loud.
Like
The
85-15.
section back there was the whole.
You know what was brilliant? They put the Diaz team over there, but Jake came out from that. So as he walks out, he's getting flipped off by everyone. It was brilliant.
He started giving
Yes.
it back to him, and then he had to come over here and wave to his
To his crew.
I assume the thought was maybe that Nate was going to be facing them, but Jake coming out on that side, he
Yes.
was right. And you know what? He gave it right back to him, so I respect that.
I'll actually break it down.
Please.
85 Diaz, 14
Oh.
Paul.
What's one?
1 Hiwani.
Yeah.
We had
Nice
the
little
sign,
pop.
the 10-7.
Oh, was it there?
Yeah,
I didn't
someone
see
got
it.
my attention. They were like,
Another one?
Oh, yeah, GC, look. Yeah. Yeah. It may have been the same guy, but I mean, still, looked
Can
good.
we save another percent? Can we take one from somewhere and save it for Chael? I feel like that's
Did Chael get a pop?
man.
Yeah, I mean,
He did.
When he came up.
It was hard to tell up there.
No, when he came up, the people's eyes lit up. I mean, when
It was a
Chael
great little
on the-
surprise.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chael showing up with the glasses
Fantastic.
as the enforcer. We've had GSP in the past up there, but I think Chael, from what I understand, Chael was a personal invitation from Nate. Like he wasn't neutral. Nate said he wanted him here. Chael was here with his son. Did I know in advance? Maybe. Did I ask Chael Pete to come on the program? Yes. Did I get the old stiff arm?
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, do I have to pull back the 1%? All right, I'm sorry.
I mean,
I don't know.
Can you imagine Chael P right here, American Airlines Center?
I thought he was a shoo-in. Chael, you good? We'll open the show around the bad guy on the road. Nothing.
No.
Maybe he's just focused. He's here specifically to be Nate Diaz's enforcer, and he can't do anything else. I mean, he was a secret. And he
was
just
a
pops
secret.
up. It's incredible.
Not a lot of secrets in this business.
Yeah.
Best part of Dallas so far, GC? And how do you feel about Georgia Cowboy? Does that work? Are there Cowboys in Georgia?
Not so much. I mean, like here, this is like real. This is where the Cowboys are at. I mean, you walk back here. I mean, we've got security and stuff. People just wearing cowboy hats.
Just for fun. Like this is not a gimmick.
I don't think it's fun. I think it's a style. It's a fashion choice. I mean, there was someone back there working on this set. I can't see him right now, but he had a cowboy hat on as well. Like this is
Yesterday there was a concert here. Thomas Rhett.
Oh man, yeah.
Rhett Thomas.
Thomas Rhett. Yeah, he was.
It was
here.
cowboy hats and cowboy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just
Never
a
been
lot.
to a country concert before.
Never.
Wow, they're a lot
Ditto.
of fun.
Ditto.
Wow,
We're true
wow,
East
look at you.
Coasters.
Yeah. I mean East Coasters. Georgia is on the East Coast. I mean,
No, but like Northeast
Yeah,
Coasters.
Yeah.
Cold beer on a Saturday night.
Cold beer on a Friday night.
And the
Georgia.
radio. Who's that again?
Zach Brown Band.
Zach Brown.
Been to a
Band.
Zach
You know
Brown
that
Band?
song?
I know that song. I didn't
A
know the
little
artist.
bit again, you know.
Chicken fried.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is.
Not bad. Not
I don't know. What has been the best part of Dallas? The heat? Has that been your favorite?
Yeah, it has
favorite
been
part?
intense.
Reunion Tower, we went yesterday. Got up, got to see a nice skyline of Dallas. Really gave you a nice perspective on how big it is. Cotton Bowl, saw that.
How has Frank been with the tidbits, with the knowledge? Has he been flexing a lot?
I was hoping for more facts, but Frank, I mean, you can chime in and deliver this one.
Please.
He gave me an actually mind-blowing fact about Texas.
What do we got? What do we got?
All right. So if you were driving from Los Angeles
Yes.
to Houston, the halfway point is in Texas.
Flip it. If you're driving from Houston to Los Angeles, the halfway point.
Wait.
Well, that would be the
Houston
same.
is in
It's the same distance.
Well, I mean,
I know, but you can get halfway there, and you're
still in
be
the state of Texas.
Yeah.
Wow.
to
I feel
be
like you
fair-
kind
oh,
of
actually,
botched
no,
that.
it's not exactly the same.
It's El Paso.
Yeah.
El Paso, huh?
but
Do you want to do
That's-
that again? I feel like you botched that, Frank.
No, that is interesting though.
That is
I feel
interesting.
like it was taken away from me.
Man,
but,
you guys are like kind of quelled. I was like actually.
No, that is
No,
insane.
it is
Jaw
very
dropped.
yeah.
Why? Because is Houston
No, it's
south?
Because
it's
Texas
because
is so
Texas
big.
is so
Yeah,
massive.
no, I know that, but like, are you starting all the way at the bottom?
It's like southeastish, I believe. You know, I'm
is
I'm
Houston
brushing
more
up.
north than Dallas,
And
or vice versa?
Houston's south of Dallas.
South of
South of
Dallas.
Dallas,
Okay,
south of Dallas.
we're learning.
Can I-
We're learning
can I-
things.
Oh yeah, no,
Yes.
I'm getting acquainted. with the
I need to
Texas
ask
geography.
something.
4 hours. Our
4 hours.
cameraman is telling
I need
us.
to ask
See,
something.
This is what we don't get when we don't have a cameraman in the
That's what I'm
studio.
saying,
We get
that's
this
what I'm
insight
saying.
here. It's
And
tremendous.
and we-
Did Frank tell you that?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the
I
way
wasn't
to-
sure because you knew it better than he did, so I wasn't sure what happened there.
I was so
was
mind blown. I
taking
had
it
to
away.
confirm it
Okay.
yesterday on the internet. Yeah, he told us on the way to reunion.
We did have a
Amazing.
nice barbecue dinner on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We did.
Frank took us to a questionable Tex-Mex spot on Thursday.
questionable.
Excuse me?
No? You guys thought it was good?
I thought it was good. Yeah.
I loved it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Wanting hating as you.
The sushi was okay on Tuesday for Rick.
These are good too. I mean, geez, tough crowd here.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm still waiting for my banger meal. I haven't had a banger meal.
I have to say the barbecue. I was a little bit mind blown at how expensive it was.
Oh, yeah.
I got a bang. I
Yeah,
went to
I
a banger
couldn't
spot
believe
for
it.
lunch today.
What'd you get?
I believe it was called Flower Child. If it was, shout out to them
nice.
in Dallas.
What kind of food?
Delicious. Like
kind of-
just like healthy options. Make a bowl. Had a little hummus. I was thinking the whole time I was there. I was like,
I actually haven't eaten yet today.
I'm also
You're not the only
hungry,
one
man. I think we're gonna
fasting,
get
but I'm
some
not doing it on
dinner.
purpose.
Tomorrow, book depository.
Yeah, that's the rumor. Are we
Buc-ee's?
going to do it?
We're gonna hit a Buc-ee's.
What is
still?
Buc-ee's?
Which one's
world's largest convenience store.
Oh yeah.
Home to the largest car wash in the world.
I have not heard. Oh, yeah, we talked about this. Yes.
And
Love
if
to
I
do
swing
that.
by one, we have to drive 40 minutes out.
No, I'm not
and
doing
then
that.
40 minutes back
Absolutely
in,
not
and then
doing that.
Swing by the old book depository.
No, there's no chance that I'm doing that. The book depository is a fun thing. I've actually gone twice. UFC 211 when we were
you've
here.
been?
I've
wow.
gone twice, yeah. And then when it was WrestleMania in what is going on? They're playing music. What is-
Yeah, little
Are
Rihanna.
they? Is this Rihanna? Is she walking them out?
Oh, here she comes right now.
Here she is.
Wow.
The critically acclaimed
All right.
recording artist. All right, let's get your picks. We teased this.
Let's do it. Yes. Okay.
We
So
teased this that you are saving your picks for Friday. It's now Friday. We've got Rihanna here. She's going to strike our YouTube
Yes,
channel because there's
actually-
going to be a copyright infringement.
I have to say, huge fan of this song. by
Is
the
it a
way.
good song?
Oh yeah.
So
Is this Diaz?
perfect.
Are they rehearsing Diaz's walkout?
Yeah, for sure.
Whoever's walking out to this is going to be.
I actually heard a rumor about Paul's walkout, but I can't say anything.
Okay.
Not even a little hint?
No, nothing.
Nothing?
Thank you for,
Wow.
thank you for
Yeah.
teasing and not being able to tell us anything. All right, first things first. I have to say before we get into the picks, this may be breaking news. I don't know if Frank wants to play it. This is unprecedented.
This is incredible right now.
Changing the parlay line.
Wow.
If
This
you've
is the
bet
beauty of
cash
doing it on
out-
Friday.
If you've bet it, cash it out. Yeah, I have to say, feels like no one really cares about the bets, but this week there's been some clamoring. I was actually quite surprised.
People were asking.
Oh yeah, they were wondering where it was. I wasn't on No Bets Barred this week. Nice to feel a little bit of love, especially we're on 4 straight winning weeks. Changing the Parlay Pals pick had the Amanda Serrano fight over 8.5. I've been talked out of that. We'll get into that in a little bit. We'll get into that in just a second.
Wow.
I'm now going the over 5.5. Nate Diaz Army. I think he's going to last longer. In the main event, I'm going with the over 5.5.
Wow.
Jake Paul, his last 4 have gone over the 5.5 mark. Nate Diaz is tough as nails. Don't think he's going to get knocked out. Maybe later in the fight there's a TKO on either side, but I think that one goes a little bit longer. I disagree with Shawn Porter on it being ended early. Let's get into the actual picks. We'll start with UFC Nashville if we can. I believe we do have the graphics. I mean, even when we're away from home, we get that
amazing.
production value. I'm going to start Quarantillo Jackson under 2.5. I mean, you think people are even hearing me, or is this all just
No,
Rihanna
this is.
right
I mean,
now?
by the way, at the open workouts, it was like
I think they
1,000 times louder.
I think they might have
Putting
just
it
heard
down.
me. They
Yes,
turned
thank
it down
you
a
guys.
touch.
Appreciate that. Very kind of you.
Billy Q, 6 of his last 9, including the Contender Series knock on the distance. Jackson, 22 of his 28 have knock on the distance. 12 of his last 14 under 2.5. Let's move on to the next one. Jeremiah Wells, 5 of his last 6 haven't gone to round 3. Carlston Harris, 7 of his last 8 have not seen round 3. Let's keep it rolling to the next pick. Ignacio Bahamondes. Did a forklift just honk?
It did.
That's it. He's coming out honking.
Coming back hot.
This is incredible. Bahamondes, I mean, he's going to be so much bigger. 8 inches taller, 4 inches of reach. He's just going to be
I don't
bigger,
think he likes this
faster,
pick.
More well-rounded. Well, that's your pick for the Parlay Pals. so I
Yeah,
hope
it
he
is.
does. And then last but not least for UFC Nashville, let's go to the last pick there. I'm going to take the under 2.5, Tatiana Suarez and Jessica Andrade.
Oh, I like that one.
Andrade,
Wow, that's a good fight.
Queen of Chaos, 9 of her last 11, ending in round 1 or 2. Suarez, 4 of her 6 UFC wins, ending by finish. Andrade, I think she's going to push the pace, and I think Suarez will have to dance with her, and someone is going to get finished. Let's move to Paul Diaz.
Yes.
Hotly
Hashtag.
contested. Here we are. Amanda Serrano, Heather Hardy. I'm flipping the pick from the Parlay Pals. I'm taking the single. I'm riding with Rick. I am now taking the under 8.5 plus 115. Despite 6 straight fights going over 8.5 for Amanda Serrano, despite her already having fought Heather Hardy to a decision, them being very friendly, very cordial.
Yes.
Rick here claims
Confident.
lock of the week,
Yeah.
lock of the century,
Yes.
lock of the millennium. There is
boy.
no way that this does not go under. I mean, I was getting slandered at dinner
Didn't
last
he
night.
say third round?
That was
No,
Mike Heck.
that was
Shout
not
out to
me.
Mike Heck. I mean, they were getting right up in my face. It was getting intense at dinner last night. How confident they were in the under 8.5. So confident. Rick has also thrown a couple units down on the under 8.5. I mean, they
Yeah.
are that confident
I like it.
in this going. I said, all right, listen, I'm a ride or die. That's what I'm going to do with Rick. So we'll ride together.
I appreciate
on the
that.
under 8.5. And then lastly, we will go to the main event. No side for me. Hard to have a real firm thought
it?
process on what's going to happen here. I'm going with the over 7.5. Paul, 3 of his last 4 over the 7.5. I mentioned Diaz, tough as nails. I think this one's going to get extended. I think we're going to have some fun, but Frank doesn't think so. We can clear off the picks here. We have
Frank?
to get Frank's thoughts.
Yeah.
Frank has strong
Tell me.
thoughts.
Look,
Strong thoughts.
Oh, something
us.
big is happening when he starts it off with "Look, man."
Tell us, Frank.
I just want you to understand.
I'm looking, Frank.
I like Nate,
Yeah.
but
I
I,
like
feel like
Jake.
Jake is going to finish this.
Wow.
Yeah. So
And
much.
when he does, I'm never going to shut up about this.
What
Yeah.
What's the like Nate part? but Jake is going to finish it. Like, what's the...
I wouldn't be mad if Nate won.
Oh, I see.
He tells me if Jake Paul finishes him in the first 4 rounds, we will never hear the end of it. He said he is going to go on an absolute tirade in Dallas. He's going to paint the town red if Jake Paul gets this done in the first 4 rounds. I mean, he is a problem child. He has come out and said that he is a problem child himself.
So he's not making a pick. Are you making a pick?
No, you know what? I want to say I'm a lot more like GC, and we've been checking in on my levels, right? First announced, what was I, 10 out of 10?
Yeah.
We fast forward to the week, 13 out of 10.
Yep. As
we
the
might be
going up.
We might be 15.
Oh yeah.
15.
Oh, 15.
We might be 15.
After today was good. Press conference
face-off
was good.
The face-off was
now that
electric.
we're here, now that everything's going on, I actually am really excited for tomorrow night. I think it's going to be awesome.
And the thing about this fight, and it speaks to what GC was talking about in the betting aspect of it, I have no idea what is going to happen. If Nate finishes him late because Jake runs out of gas, I wouldn't be surprised. If Jake finishes Nate because the power is too much and Nate's too shop-worn, I wouldn't be surprised.
I think Nate's he's going to surprise a lot of people. Ultimately, does he win? He has a great ability of saying, hey, I won that fight even though he didn't win. Like, who knows if he actually gets the nod, but I think he surprises a lot of people. What's so funny?
Just
the
not
music?
the music. These forklifts are peeling, dude. I mean, we're getting the reverse,
It's
the
amazing.
backups. We're getting hung, and they're absolutely peeling. To your guys' point, I think Nate Diaz is going to show out a little bit more than people are expecting him. I mean, minus 160 is what Frank took Jake Paul by knockout. I mean, 3 of his last 4 have gone to a decision. I think Nate Diaz can hang. On top of that, didn't do it yet. Maybe a little sprinkle. I'm talking just a little bit of lunch money. Nate Diaz by decision plus 900.
Wow. Oh, my God.
I can see a world where he steals later rounds and maybe gets to a decision.
I'm not saying it's a sure thing. This is a tough task for Nate Diaz making his debut. Jake Paul, he's switched coaches. He's obviously hungrier than ever. He cannot lose this fight. But, I mean, if it gets extended, he's got the cardio. He starts getting comfortable in the boxing ring. He steals some rounds late. Plus 900. I mean, if this is close and you're going to the cards, that would be something. Actually, speaking of Frank's his fandom for Jake Paul, he pulled me aside. I think we have the picture here. Frankie is one of the biggest Jake Paul fans.
Really? He's a big Jake Paul mark?
Look at him.
Wow.
With the robot.
Frank, you got a shot with the robot?
I honestly actually thought Frank was in the robot.
Frank, how cool was that?
Frank?
It's the highlight of my day.
Please, no. Highlight of your day. Please tell me what you said to the robot.
I came up to him and I said, you do such a great effing job. I can't keep my eyes off of you.
Wow. He wasn't on the stage.
I've never heard Frank say anything that nice about
He said,
anything.
I love all your work. I watch all of your work. I'm your biggest fan.
This is a tremendous
We saw the man behind the mask.
No, there's no man.
Did that
It's just a
hurt
robot.
anything?
No.
I saw the engineers making sure the actuators were working.
Putting the oil in. I love it.
By the way, it happened already, but I wonder what the line was of Jake saying to me, I'm going to F him up, Ariel.
I would have had that.
Boom. He went in my face at one point. I was like, oh, geez.
I got to say,
I thought I was wearing glasses.
Some people are saying cringe and all this about the dog and sending him back to the cage. I like the wordplay there.
That was good.
I thought it was good. I would have had him yelling in your face at minus 3,000.
Yeah,
of course, no doubt.
I'm effing him up. It's his thing. Can I say one of the brilliant master strokes of this week? Nate Diaz doing questions and answers instead of working out.
Yeah.
The intrigue that is maintained in this fight because of that moment is brilliant.
The sight of him in the boxing trunks wearing boxing gloves is going to be riveting.
Yes. I was actually thinking about that during the weigh-ins. I was like, man, we haven't seen him in boxing gloves yet. Like, this is going to be crazy.
Can't wait.
He played that perfectly, in my opinion, to build the intrigue.
And so what a perfect way to end this perfect week. It has been so much fun, especially for this little show of ours, this little engine that could, to get this type of love, this type of treatment. Again, thank you very much to our good friends over at DAZN for the opportunity to work in conjunction with them. Shout out to the DAZN Boxing Show as well. Again, you can get the pay-per-view right now. You should sign up right now. DAZN.com. DAZN pay-per-view globally tomorrow night, August 5th, American Airlines Center. Obviously, we know the ESPN Plus pay-per-view component, and I think for Rick and I, it's pretty damn cool. You know, ESPN back involved for me, being back on the worldwide leader airwaves, very nice. A homecoming of sorts. I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home.
Is this not being simulcast on ESPN Radio as well?
Hopefully we get on game night afterwards.
Yes. Oh,
who knows? If we
Send
play
in
our
the
cards
text. Live
correctly.
from Dallas.
Yes, but you can get the pay-per-view right now on DAZN.com, and I'm very excited to be a part of the crew tomorrow, and I'm so excited that this program got to go on the road, hopefully the first of many. Obviously, we haven't done it. Hopefully, it's not 6 years until our next one,
Let's
guys.
do it soon. Let's do it soon.
You know what I mean?
This was a lot of fun.
It's been a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've added a little bit of value to Fight Week. We've made it feel a little bit bigger. And now, as they say, the hay is in the barn. It is time to do the damn thing right here. Like tomorrow, you're going to watch this. You're going to be like, hey, the boys were here on Friday doing
There it
their
is.
damn thing.
That's the ring. That's where it'll all go down tomorrow night.
Gents, only one way to end the show. Thank you so much. Tremendous job all week. Tremendous job to the crew that has been working with us all week. The whole FlyPack New York crew. Thank you very much to them. Big Joe over there. Thank you very much to him.
Oh, yeah.
Corporate Alex, of course. Thank you to him. Mysterious Frank. Thank you to you, the team all over the globe for MMA Fighting that helps us with everything involved with the show. The team at Fox, Ben Epstein, who helped make this happen, and of course the team at DAZN. And shout out to our good friend Fred, who first put
shout out to Fred.
the seed down. Fred from DAZN, he made this happen. We love Fred. Thank you very much to him as well. This has been a fantastic day, a fantastic show. Thank you to our guests today, Alycia Baumgardner, Shawn Porter, Sibley Scoles. A lot of fun talking to her. And how about
huge pop from my girlfriend,
Wade Plem?
Sibley.
She knew her.
Yeah,
from what
big
world?
time. Red carpet interviews.
Wow.
Oh, big
Texted me
time.
all caps, exclamation point, Sibley. How'd you guys get her?
Wow.
It's like,
that was the big get. That was the biggest
That
pop.
was the big get.
Yeah, biggest
Who
book
knew?
of the
I
night.
mean, the
Big
teeth
pop.
were fantastic. The hair too.
Oh, the hair.
Is that the real color? Or is it?
Storm X-Men vibes.
Yeah.
That's what Wade
Would it have
said.
been rude if I asked if that was the real color?
I don't think
Maybe let's just not.
Okay. I just wasn't sure because I think it's fantastic.
Right?
Yeah, no, it looks
I
great.
just think
it's fantastic as well.
I know because I know some people that have gone and I like it. Like my wife always says to me, "Should I dye my hair?" I like gray.
Yeah.
I think gray is great.
It looks great, man.
I like that too.
Fine. New York got all weird on me there. It was weird. Shout out to Celsius as well.
Gotta keep something secret.
Clean
Yeah.
energy here.
Okay. I just like to ask a lot of questions. I'm very inquisitive. All right, Frank, I don't know. Are you playing the music or not? I mean,
No,
that
I
was
was
kind of the
waiting
cue.
for the cue.
I mean, that was the whole outro right there.
Wait till they hit a new track.
You know what would have been a great scene? If they played the music in the arena.
Yeah.
Could we not have done that, Frank? Could we not have had a bit of a simulcast?
Frank's gonna
Apparently
make it
not.
happen.
Music's playing now.
What's for dinner?
And we should
What
still.
is for dinner? Because
There's another Tex-Mex place.
Oh, you got one lined up?
Yeah, we gotta go.
Jesus.
No,
It's
no,
called-
Tex-Mex?
But should I say the name?
No, don't say it. Because what if it's bad? We don't want to give them love.
Yeah,
We'll give them a
well-
shout out afterwards.
Exactly.
Fair? Wow, what a fun week. And the best part is the fun has just begun because we are essentially 24 hours away from a very anticipated moment in the history of mixed martial arts, the entire MMA community coming together to see if our prodigal son, the son of the 209, can shut up this man named Jake Paul once and for all. We'll see if it gets done. And of course, if you like this program, check it out every Monday and Wednesday on the MMAfighting.com YouTube channel beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern. Back to the same old schedule on Monday. I already have a few guests lined up. We can't stop because we won't stop. Yeah, what, you wanted an off day?
Yeah, I was hoping for maybe an off day, man.
No vacay, my friend. Back to our usual slot, Monday, Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern. By the way, I'm sorry that I couldn't get to all the questions on Wednesday on the nose. There was just a lot going on, as you can imagine, but we'll make up for it next Wednesday,
Sure,
okay?
yeah, sounds
and perhaps we'll go online and someone will make a response video to the response video, the response video to the response of this video,
Sure,
and it'll be
a
great response.
Reaction
To the reaction of the reaction to the reaction, okay?
As many little people in the corners just
Reaction to the reaction to the reaction. Back on Monday, same time and place. Until then, we say peace from Dallas. We'll see you on Saturday.